all being here. Good evening. Welcome in. Talking Trek is live for the first time in over a week back here in the Talking Trek studios and broadcasting from outer space. We welcome you in to Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. I'm your host, UltimatDJz, and somewhere in the Milky Way galaxy, we've got a random green Griffin. How are you, buddy?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing out there, everybody?
We're all great. Super.
It is a great day to be alive.
It is indeed a great day to be alive. And we would like to invite you guys to be... What did I just hit my camera? I'd like to invite you guys to be alive with us in a Talking Trek server sound off. You guys punch it up in chat. And we'd like to welcome you guys all in. Yo, what's up? Stradalorian kicking us off on server 9. Corellius on server 13. Noon Whistle on 29. J-Waves 13. Enterprise on 30. V-Real. Hey, what's up? On server 9, I think. Savage Darkness also on 9. Polar Bear 15. 724 Paul on 709. Commander Taylor on 187. Matt Hatter on 95. Tony Pye on 86. Samus Aran on 57. Duder, what's going on? JG Nachi, how are you? Good evening to you. Welcome in. Appreciate it. Yes, Restrucy. Yeah, it's Griffin the Great is here. Blade KOS on 26. Striker. Server 49. Noon Whistle 29. Sea Engineering 36. 12, 18, 98. Major Pothead here on server 67. Andalish on 701. Jason Cash on 13. Silver Tab on 33. Zach on 84. Thad on 15. Clark on 51. Manxman 24. Restrucy on 63. Ultra Vetica hanging out on European, APAC 187. Ralex on European 176. Free the Nukes. Flagship
Easy
server
for you to
15.
say.
Thank you. Your way on server 30. What's going on? Over in YouTube, Charlie on the Saber server 20. What's going on? Mom Troy on server 24. Thank you very much. We got Scaly back from the Outback on 188. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in.
Hey.
What's going on, everybody? Alpha Zypher on server 21. Thank you. Appreciate everybody being here. What's going on? Sticky note. Yep, I got the posted sticky note also on the stage tonight. Executive producer Tarpy. Hello, Tarpy. How are you? Wow. Dreamweaver and Chill is here. My God, there's a celebrity amongst us.
Wow.
There's a celebrity amongst us. Dude, how you been? How have you been? Oh my God, what's going on, dude? Appreciate you stopping by. What's going on, my brother? Listen, welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. It's been a hot minute since we've been here in the studio. You know what? I want to tell you something, Griffin. Do you remember when you and I traveled to, I'm pretty sure it was Idaho. I know you tried to block that from your memory, but do you remember when we traveled to Idaho and you came home?
How could I forget? My left arm still smells funny to this day.
You came home with cases and cases and cases of Ghost. Well, I should...
had nothing to do with that.
Anywho, I am going to point out that I was in, a lot of you guys know because we recorded some content from Hilton Head Island this past week, Griffin, where I found and brought home 4 cases. 4.
Of the 7-Up Ghost.
7-Up Ghost. I found it on Hilton Head Island. I brought home multiple cases because this is an amazing Ghost. Didn't know there was a 7-Up version. You know what? It's almost always Griffin who gets to share the new and exciting flavors to you guys.
I had that 3 weeks ago on stream, and you never listened.
No, I know you had it, but I never get the cutting edge flavors. I never get the cutting edge flavors. Well, here you go.
This is brand new. Well, you're one behind because A&W Root Beer comes out next week.
What? The 7-Up is good. Exclamation point Ghost.
The 7-Up is bomb.
7-Up Ghost Energy. Exclamation point Ghost. And it is amazing. It tastes just like 7-Up. I love it. Zach says,
exactly, Alpaca. Do you remember the commercials in the 80s? The nice African-American gentleman with the straw hat. He's like Haitian. And he's like, 7-Up. Caffeine. Never had it, never will.
Uh-oh.
That was their big phrase when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Now look what's happened. He's rolling around in his grave.
Yeah. 7-Up has 200 milligrams of natural caffeine from coffee beans and 1,000 milligrams of carnitine for legendary energy, epic focus, and none of the sugary crash. You can get yourself set up at exclamation point Ghost with your choice of over 28 different available flavors. That is available at exclamation point Ghost. Zach says, root beer, where do I get it? Take my money. Well, there you go.
Well, A&W Reaper launches next month at gas stations around the world. And also next month, we have chocolate-flavored Yoo-Hoo Protein Ghost in a 12 and 16-ounce can launching at Walmart.
Lies.
Nationwide.
Lies.
Nationwide. Walmart.
You kidding me? Yoo-Hoo Ghost? No, I got to get
Yes,
some of
and
that
not only was the Yoo-Hoo
Okay.
chocolatey
I want
popular,
that. Yeah.
it's so popular that they went right back to the drawing board. There are going to be multiple flavors of Yoo-Hoo Ghost coming out by the end of the year. Multiple flavors.
I love Yoo-Hoo.
If it's chocolate milk flavored, is it going to be clear and colorless like all the other ghosts, or is it going to
Well,
look
obviously.
It is like
chocolate?
is a chocolatey protein shake. It's going to look just like a Yoo-Hoo.
Just like
Oh.
Yoo-Hoo?
Because it's like a protein. It's a protein shake. It has 50 grams of protein and 210
Okay.
calories in a 16-ouncer.
You see, you had me scared there that this was going to be ghost colored, like chocolate milk flavored,
So
like
funny.
colorless liquid, and I was that just was not working in my brain. Like,
Well,
can't
don't
even
knock
read
it
your
until you
comment
try
down
it.
the bill,
It's
but that
not
was
worse than
hilarious.
diarrhea lettuce.
I was gonna
It is.
say,
Have you guys never had Yoo-Hoo? It's just like Yoo-Hoo,
Yoo-Hoo
only
is
it's
amazing.
ghost Yoo-Hoo.
who doesn't love
wait,
Yoo-Hoo?
have you had the diarrhea lettuce to compare?
I want everyone to know that I stand with Dr. Iron Chef, and today I ordered $50 worth of Taco Bell just out of principle. Okay, I want everyone to know that I
I'll never
stand
go to
with
Taco Bell.
stand with Dr. Iron Chef, and I ordered $50 worth today, and I shared it with several people at my office. All right, I stand with Taco Bell on this one. Thank you for showing the most common decency and a shred of corporate transparency. I'm with you.
Shredded
That should be a
lettuce?
T-shirt. I stand with Taco Bell, and there's just like a head of lettuce.
All right.
Did you just
Oh.
seriously say that?
I did. And you know what? Alpaca says, I think they put a hold on the lettuce. I got lettuce today, but I'm here to tell you, I seriously doubt they're still selling the bad lettuce. Okay. I don't think that would be
You don't
crazy.
know that.
That would be crazy. All right.
Or is that just a great diet trend waiting to happen?
Sign me up. Okay. I'm here.
Yep, I could lose 15 pounds right now. Let's do that taco eating contest again.
I'm in. Let's do
Hey,
that.
chat. Should we do a 1-2 punch in San Diego this weekend where we take DJs to In-N-Out and he makes me eat a Taco Bell?
I mean, I'm fine to eat it In-N-Out. Whatever. Take me to Taco Bell as well.
Well, we're going to
Retrieving
In-N-Out no
says,
matter
you're not
what.
in a state that was impacted, but I was in South Carolina also. Was it impacted there? Because that's where I got my Taco Bell. Anywho, and then I got Taco Bell. I got Taco Bell here today. Anyway, listen, let me say a couple of thank yous. We've got a lot to do today. We've got a very short show today planned, but we've got a lot of stuff that we want to give to you guys. In a condensed, sorry, that's the ghost. In a condensed,
That's radio.
trying to get you guys a lot of information. So let me say thank you here to a number of individuals. We will start with Mad Hatter, who has redeemed the splash screen change. So congratulations, you're the winner this week. Send over your 1920 by crap. What is it? Your 16 by 9 ratio.
1080.
Is it? Wait, is it?
Yeah.
Send over your 16 by
16
9
by 9
ratio,
Yeah, you're right.
1080p splash screen for you to do that. Just send it over to my DM and we'll get that going. Papa Smurf, thank you so much for your 39 months. Sorry, 50 months. I can't read. Papa Smurf with a 50-month resub at Tier 1. Thank you for your partner plus point. And Alicia, thank you for your 31 months at Tier 3, you legend. 33 months at Tier 3.
Wow.
And you know what? Because of that,
That's
you
adorable.
get the very special Taco Bell gong. Okay, you get Tier
Bafty?
3 right there. No, that's Andalicia's. Jess and Sanity, thank you. 43 months at Tier 1. Thank you so very much. Appreciate that. C Engineering with the stream streak. Sam Saran with the stream streak. Silver Tab, congratulations. Silver Tab hitting the 200 stream streak. 200.
Wow.
Commitment.
That is amazing.
Mine's only like 5.
Clark with
Not work
125 stream streak. Surge with the streak. Nowhere Man, thank you. 48 months. Does that make you a founder? Nowhere, man. Are you a founder? 48 months?
I believe so, yes.
Thank you for your partner plus point. That's crazy. Sethan with the 160 stream streak. You absolute legend, man. Oh my God, that's crazy. And this, by the way, this is all the stuff that has happened just because we've been off the air for about a week as far as like normal stuff, here in the studio. So we've got that. Thank you, Sethan. Appreciate that. Wade, 23 months on the resub. Johnny 5, 33 months on the resub. Thank you. Bearbutt Al tier 2, 50 months. Okay, Bearbutt Al's the founder. 50 months. Susie Q. Thank you. Happy anniversary to you, Susie Q. 12 months here on the channel. Candy White at 160 stream streak. And Neon Lights, thank you. 30 months resub with Prime. You guys are all legends. Thank you. Here's your gong. Thank you. Bathy? Lizard. Guys, we appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you've contributed to the channel. I do want to point out, now I don't have this on the screen right now because we're doing a podcast tonight, but Griffin, I can just point out very quickly. Well, it looks all kinds of goofy right now. I was going to show just very quickly where we are since I've been gone for a week, and you guys did contribute a lot to the channel while we were gone and doing our island streams and our Pokemon streams and all the fun stuff that we got to do while we were in Hilton Head Island. We are now 60% through to spinning the GoWheel again. Just throwing that out there. We are less than 1,000 subs, guys. Here's the thing. We still have 11 days in the month. We've got 11 days in the month. I feel like we could spin this before the end of July, especially since we didn't have a whole lot of sub action while we were at the beach and doing some live streams, which we did. We did a couple of drive streams. We did a pogo stream. We did a live beach stream, which was a lot of stuff, a lot of content. We did 2 videos while we were at the beach. So, still, while we were in a warm climate, Griffin, we were still able to bring you guys some great content, and we appreciate you guys consuming that content while we were gone. Griffin, you were also gallivanting the globe as well. Where were you this past weekend, and then last week you were out and about?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, you've been everywhere.
I think that was the New York trip. We went to New York. We saw the Bon Jovi at Madison Square Garden, night 2. And let me tell you, that's a band that can really play. What a great performer. Yeah, Bon Jovi's my favorite band of all time, so I'm biased. However, we had a great show. It was Brody's first big concert, so Junior had a great time there. I had him up on my shoulder for a couple times, and he was amazing.
His first concert was Bon Jovi?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Started him off right. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Then we saw some Broadway. We went to see The Outsiders and The Lost Boys, the 2026 hit Tony Award winning Lost Boys. What a great show that was. And we took him to The Lion King, because what kid doesn't like to see The Lion King, right?
Amazing.
But more importantly, I've been busy gallivanting around the galaxy, and DJs, I have an announcement to make.
Hold on, dude.
And I'm very excited. Today is a monumental day. If you look in the background,
dude.
and
somebody is literally
pulling. Getting married.
Somebody, no. Let's talk about something important, dude. Literally, something is pulling up to your port window right now.
No. I am pulling up to their port window. I have finally found Cruzito. That's his ship right there.
Oh my God.
I'm about to PM him, and in about 15 to 30 minutes, I'm gonna blow him the F up. I can't wait. It took me a year and a half, but I found you, Cruzito.
You guys take a look. Okay, it's been a galactic hunting party here, and you finally found Cruzito, who's been hunting you across the galaxy. For those of you,
correct. I am no longer afraid. I am now on the offense.
I got you. Fantastic. What's up, Juan? Juan says, when are the San Diego Comic-Con party tickets going out? I don't know. I know that the forum is closed down now. Everybody's there. I know, and here's the thing, Griffin. We've been doing so much stuff, and we got no time. We're doing a show tonight. We're doing a show tomorrow night. Then Wednesday,
not enough time.
Wednesday, we're packing it all up again and headed to San Diego. Griffin, you're going to be in San Diego probably by 2 or 3 p.m. I'm going to be in San Diego probably around 9 or 10 p.m. And And I'm just going to tell you, Thursday going to be a busy day. Thursday's going to be exciting. All right, just kind of throwing out a loose itinerary for you guys. Thursday morning, we've got a bunch of filming stuff that we're going to be doing. Thursday afternoon, we're just going to kind of hang out, maybe do something with the community. Thursday night, we have a dinner to go to. Friday, we're going to be going to the Star Trek Fleet Command presentation, activation, party thing, whatever that they've got going on, and their experience. They've actually got an experience. Griffin, Fleet Command this year is investing into Comic-Con. Have you seen the badges for this year? Have you seen the badges?
I have. They're incredible. It's the 60th anniversary year of Star Trek, so of course, Fleet Command went big on this one, as they should. And I'm very proud of the individuals behind the scenes who have made such an incredible production happen. It is going to be a happening.
It is. So that is going to be happening out with our marketing team there. So we're going to go out and hang out with them on Friday. Then Friday night, there's a party we've been invited to, which I haven't even told you about yet. And then Saturday, we're going to hang around the city and do some fun. Maybe we'll do a little Pokemon. I don't know. Maybe we'll go through the Comic-Con exhibit hall. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Saturday night, we have another party to go to. Sunday, I'm going to try to sleep in a little bit. Do the badges?
No.
What are you?
No, you're not sleeping in.
No, there's no sleeping in on Sunday. All right.
Why? What's happening on Sunday?
No, Sunday I'm flying home, so I figured
I'm
we're not
flying home on Sunday. I got to be at. I got to be back to LAX at like 9 a.m. on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday I'm leaving early too. All right. What day am I going to break all the streaks? I don't. Well, listen, we've got the backpack this year, Guru, so we might be all right. And listen, I'll say, Griffin, the backpack worked. I'm sorry. The KBS worked fantastic this past week. I can't help it. He won. He insists. At least
listen. I just hope that you're proud of yourself for giving somebody that kind of power.
At least I am allowed to refer to it by its initials, which, by the way, it could sound pretty technical. It's the KBS unit. All right, so yeah, it's the KBS.
That was my way to save the nightmare that you have brought upon us all with this horrible idea.
Yeah, he's at least willing to allow me to refer to it by its initials. So the KBS unit worked fantastic this past week. We did 2 drive streams with it. We were on the island with it. I got sand in it, and it's still working. It worked really good. So I expect, Guru, that we're not going to have as much challenge this year. At least I hope. We're not going to have as much challenge this year at San Diego Comic-Con. But as far as the party tickets won, I don't know yet. Again, this year, I've actually had less to do with it because the Scopely marketing team, like Scopely Corporate, not just Fleet Command, but Scopely Corporate, again, and Paramount, 60th anniversary Star Trek, they're doing a lot over there. Okay, they're doing a lot over there, so I had less to do with it this year, which, by the way, I'm super happy about. Okay, I'm super fine with that. I've just been facilitating, like, getting everybody opportunities to fill out the guest list and then do the form and all that stuff. But I got nothing to do with the ticket lottery this year. I don't even know if I have tickets, to be honest with you, Juan. I think I do.
That doesn't surprise anybody.
I'm not entirely sure that I have tickets. Okay, so anyway, they should be going out very, very soon, and that'll be happening. Why should we trust Scopely? Because it's not even Fleet Command. It's the whole big corporate scoop. Listen, they spent a lot of money, them and Paramount, on this thing. Okay, so I don't.
Has anybody seen the wall of Fleet Command in San Diego?
Dude, they've got a mural. Yeah, didn't they put up a mural?
Yeah.
Dude, it's pretty freaking cool what they got going on up there, okay? So Cruzito says, seems like a lot of Fleet Command is doing a lot for Comic-Con. Will there be an ARC launch? Will there be an ARC launch? What, yeah.
During Comic-Con?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. We're doing the ARC launch on Thursday, which is going to be an adventure.
We're going on an adventure.
We're going to be on an adventure, everybody. So, you know what? I just realized what we're going to be doing Thursday around Event Reset, Griffin. We're going to be live streaming the ARC launch. We're going to be live streaming the ARC launch. That's what we're going to have to do Thursday. We're going to have to build a studio.
Don't you have plans?
We have plans.
I have plans Thursday morning and plans Thursday night. I don't think I've got anything during the day.
Oh, so after our morning plans, we can then go on live and stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Why do you?
The new episode.
No, we're not doing that until Friday.
Because that's also Thursday.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. See, here's what's actually going to happen, Tarpy and Griffin. Okay. Friday night, we're going to be rubbing elbows. We're going to be rubbing elbows with some of the Paramount bigwigs. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have a little charcuterie available to us and some drinks where we're going to be watching not just episode 1, but episode 2 of Strange New Worlds together Friday in an exclusive red carpet event. But you didn't hear that from me. I don't know anything about it.
Well, I'm glad you told me now, so I'd pack more than flip-flops and shorts.
Yeah, you got to wear something nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, could you have told me that before I already drove 2 hours from my house?
Better Amazon something, okay? It'll be fine. Just dress something nicely, okay? Yeah, a Sean Connery board. That's what we got, a Sean Connery board.
Dude, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Cruzito says, are they going to have folks around for the weekend staffed? Yeah, obviously. They're literally, there's only a couple of them going out to Comic-Con.
And going out is only like a 3-hour drive, right?
That's true.
For,
not even.
People in Culver City.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 hours. Yeah, it's not even that. So it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. So that's happening Thursday, and and Lisa says, okay, DJ, there's no obviously about Fleet Command staffing on the weekend. Okay, that's fair. I was more referring to Thursday and Friday. There should absolutely be full on staffing Thursday and Friday. I can't speak for the weekend. I don't know what's going to happen on the weekend. I'm off on the weekends.
Anything can happen on the weekend.
Anything can happen on the weekend. Weekend's party time, man. Okay. Hey, Guffa. Sorry, no stickers. We're on pod today. So today is Monday. What will happen to ARC Preview? I assume it's coming. I don't know. Here, you want ARC Preview? Here, you want ARC Preview, Tarpy? I've got ARC Preview for you. Ready? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for ARC Preview. Where's the button? Hold on. Where's the what? Dribblebot's always available. There you go. Here, I've got ARC Preview for you.
Are we leaking?
No, I'm not leaking anything. I'm just going to give ARC Preview, okay? First of all, this is going to be the launch of M93. What, Tarpy? What?
Okay. I was
what?
The other day.
What?
You could say those leaks again.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do the thing, okay? It's the whole thing. All right?
Okay,
Here you go. M93 launching on Thursday. I'm obviously not going to do the whole thing. Okay, I'm just going to. There's people listening. It's just going to be. Okay. M93 launches on Thursday while we'll be in San Diego, Griffin. And with it comes a new battle pass. Okay. And when I say new battle pass, what I actually mean is our old battle pass. Ladies and gentlemen, choice tokens are making their triumphant return. Yes. Yeah. Choice tokens.
That is exciting.
Yeah, Benny Hill says new. Cal DeVille says improved. Listen, I don't think I said new and improved. As a matter of fact, I said it's the old. It's the battle pass that we are familiar with. It is the old version that is going to be coming with choice tokens. The bundles are going to be available, ops targeted and updated for inflation in the event store, just like we're completely familiar with when it comes to when it comes to choice tokens. Now, here's the thing: this is something that
such great news.
It is good news. It is good news. However,
I have been losing sleep for the last 3 months about these choice tokens not being in the game. Let me tell you. Now I can sleep soundly at night.
A lot of people have. All right, a lot of people have not been happy about the removal of choice tokens, and here was the announcement that was basically relayed out yesterday through the content creator program. Post anything? I was doing stuff on Ultra Show and being silly, but here was the post, and the post reads as follows. Here we go. Choice tokens are back in the battle pass for M93. Killer Cujo, thank you for the 7-month resub. Look at those cutie pies. You're talking about me and Griffin, right? Talking about somebody else.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, there you go.
Is Cruzito mooning us from the bay window?
That could be it. Choice tokens are back in the battle pass for M93. More details to follow. But we're glad to have been able to have worked with the CCs, mods, community managers, and live ops to go through the data, the feedback, the analytics, and the economy impact. Put a pin in that one. We're going to come back and talk about that. And economy impact, and we are ready to re-release the choice tokens. And with the cherry on top, the ops-dependent choice bundles have been updated with all the newest inflation data for a fresh, up-to-date choice bundle option for players. Wilson says, which inflation? The recent BP inflation or original choice token amounts with inflation? So that's just it. So there's a couple of caveats that I want to remind people of that they changed going from M90 to M91. So let's talk a little bit about this, Griffin. Okay, Tarpy, you're the Battle Pass. You're the Battle Pass Grandmaster, the Battle Pass Gatekeeper, if you will, Keymaster, the
Gatekeeper,
the Quartermaster. Okay, all right. You know everything that's going on with Battle Pass math. Remind players, M90 was the last month that we had choice. Okay, now we're going back 90 days here.
Yep.
Okay, M90 had choice. It was free track. We had 2 tracks. Yep. Free track, elite track. Okay, elite track was $20. $20. Free
Yep.
track
And
was free.
Before the Mythic track existed.
Exactly.
Yep.
Before Mythic. Okay, before Mythic, and it was what we had for years. Okay, very much the 20-day battle pass cycle.
15 months. Yep.
Okay, 20-day battle pass cycle that you could finish around day 16, day 17. You had an overflow. You had de-sealing rod fragments in the overflow, et cetera, yada, yada. Okay?
Yep.
Then M91 came. M91 arrived. Now, at first glance, M91 appeared to be the most ginormous kick in the gonads that players had experienced in many, many months. Because what we did is we took the free track, and we basically split it 2/3 in the free track and then put 1/3 up in the login calendar. Okay, and that's loose math. All right, that's not exact. Don't quote me on 33% and 67%. It was roughly, depending on the day, 1/3 of the value of the free track went up into the login calendar. And for the record, a lot of the community eventually kind of came around as praising that because, Tarpy, and we talked about it on this show, it was something for nothing, right? You still, if you logged in and you did your Battle Pass event every single day, all right, if you logged in and did your Battle Pass event every single day and you claimed your login calendar every single day, then you basically got the full contents of the free track, all right? Ballpark, generally speaking, okay? Generally speaking. You had the full contents of what would have been the free track from M90. Now, also, with one caveat, you lost the choice tokens. And with the loss of choice tokens, we stretched the battle pass to 27 days, not 28. That would be weird. Why? 27 days. Stretched out those rewards from the battle pass events, split them into a 28-day calendar or a 27-day calendar, a 27-day battle pass, and then hacked it all by 30%. All right, so let's not forget the kick in the gonads part here. Okay, Tarpy, we took everything for 20 days. We spread it over 27, and we took 30% right off the top. We said, choice, we're going to give you all of the resources and materials that we think you want, and we're going to charge you a 30% premium because we're doing you a favor. Thank you, Scopes.
And you'll like it.
And you'll like it.
Yep.
Now, let's
that
not.
felt really great, didn't it?
Oh, it felt wonderful. Let's not forget that month that they launched a $30 Mythic Pass that had about 50% of the value of the $20 Elite Pass. Okay? I mean, we're talking firing on all cylinders here. Good implementation month, right? We're
Boo-doo-doo.
yeah.
That was also when they took away Coda, by the way.
That was also when they took away Officer Depot tokens.
And Depot
they
tokens,
removed
yep.
Coda. Basically, Scopely said to the entire player base, hey, guys, it's your 40th birthday. Bend over. Okay? Time to check.
A list of the top 5 things you like in the game, and we're just going to get rid of those this month. Don't worry about it. It's going to be
It's
fine.
Essentially what happened.
Casual economy reset.
Yeah.
You know, no big deal.
Just a whole
Casual.
stop. A stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very active.
They
Casual.
slammed the brakes on everything. Slammed the brakes on everything and said, we're going to stop. Is Tarpy using a conference device from the 1990s? She is in the car. She's in the car. You
Yeah,
guys
I'm driving today.
She's on her way to Comic-Con, actually. She's the advanced team, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
You're driving to Comic-Con?
She's
48
yes,
hours.
she's driving.
No.
She's driving. She's on her way to San Diego. She's the advanced team, guys.
Driving to
yeah.
Comic-Con?
No, we're driving.
I'd rather die.
Like 12 bajillion hours to the airport right now, so that we didn't leave at 1 a.m. That was kind of our options.
In fairness, your car does still sound better than Putz's microphone, so there's that. All right, we're happy about that.
That is true.
When I'm not actively driving, I will mute when I'm not talking.
What?
Yeah, when I'm not actively driving,
I don't know what's happening.
I think Putz just actually tried to talk, but it sounded like he was coming from the Milky Way galaxy's outer rim. I think is what that was.
I did try to talk and said that was very not nice.
Hi, Putz.
Griffin, if you'll do me a favor, just take a fishing pole and just sling it to that ship. Sling it to that ship right outside your port bow, and if we run enough fishing line, we might be able to hold up a soup can and hear Putz a little bit better. Do you want to give that a try? If we could just, sling.
Yes.
Thanks. Appreciate that. We'll let us know. Let us know how that works.
I got a fiber optic cable. Will that work?
No, I don't think so. That's too high tech. All right, we got to keep it simple. His phone is from 1941. All right, so we're gonna have to keep it very, very simple then. So anyway, this is all M91. Okay, let's just walk down memory lane. This is all M91. We took a 30% pay cut. We lost our choice. We lost our Officer Depot tokens. We lost Coda. All right, now with respect to the Battle Pass, all right, which is what. This is what we're going to, quote unquote, and you know what? I'm not even going to do, quote unquote. I am going to celebrate this today. I'm going to celebrate the return of choice tokens today, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it's going to look like. Okay? No, Omicron. Yeah, well, he says, are we revisiting our past trauma, kind of like therapy? Kinda, but I want to set the stage because I had a really interesting conversation today. As a matter of fact, and by the way, shout out to Stefan. Normally Stefan comes in and he's a super big troll in the chat, but I enjoy conversations with him because he'll push and he'll push and he'll push. And we usually end up having really, really good conversations out of it. It makes me think. So today he had a conversation. He was like, hey, you need to convince me. First of all, weird, right? Weird. That's what he says. He said to me, I don't understand. What is the concept of canceling something the players loved, holding it for 3 months, and then just randomly bringing it back? Why? You know what? Good question. Really good question. And he says, what kind of, I don't even know if I can read this word, obfuscation? What kind?
Yeah, obfuscation. No, that's not it.
All right. What is the catch?
It's to abscond.
What is the catch? What is it that they're going to surprise us with? What are they going to hit us with? Why do this at all? All right. Well, here's the deal. Now, Benny Hill, I don't think in its purest form it was to take away. All right. I do think that. Okay. Picture this. You get a new boss at work. He comes in and he says something along the lines of, wow, this economy is the worst thing I've ever seen. How? What? Does this make sense to you? Because it doesn't really make sense to me. I'm just kind of
hypothetically.
Obviously, hypothetically. But we're talking about you guys. If you had a new boss that came in and was like, wow, what the hell happened here? Okay? Right? Now, pretend that happened for a second. To you. This is hypothetical. Pretend that it happened to you, Guffa. You had a new boss come in and you're like, listen, this is an embarrassing product. The economy is unlike anything I've ever seen before. So, you, as a person who makes decisions, says, ooh, shut it all down. Shut it all down.
That sounds like something hypothetically Billy from accounting would say.
Shut it down, baby. Okay? Listen. What are we doing? We gotta stop. We gotta stop everything. So everything got shut down. Now, Andy says, I would say stupid boss. Well, here's the thing. It's not, Andy. It's not. Our economy's wrecked. It's been wrecked for years. Okay, it has been.
Let's say hypothetically the new boss had like a 15-year resume of dealing with highly economy-driven properties.
Sure.
And that they might be some would call them a PMK, a person most knowledgeable of app-based gaming economies.
So what I'm saying, Omicron, is that there was hypothetically, let's pretend that hypothetically somebody in this employment scenario would have done something that we've for sure seen them do countless times in the past, which is knee-jerked overreact 1,000% overkill. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Flashpoints? Anybody? Can I get an amen on flashpoints?
RAP flashpoints.
All right. Can I get an amen on flashpoints? Anybody? Okay. How about can I get an amen on Dolomite Primes? Anybody? Now, Gray Saber says that's a dumb reaction when you know it's going to anger your customers. Gray, let me ask you a crazy question. Just do you think, and I mean this,
the ghost of Gala is smiling somewhere.
Yeah, let me just ask. If you genuinely think that there was enough awareness at the decision-making level to actually comprehend the fact that they were going to anger their customers. Like, do you think, given our history, by the way, this is all hypothetically, given our history, hypothetically speaking, that there is enough awareness that they actually realized that they were angering the players? Is that possible? Now, I think that this is my interpretation. Just being a kitty cat sitting on the outside looking in. All right. There was reaction. There was do this. And then as I'm having these meetings, in which, by the way, I'm having so many meetings. I had 3 meetings while I was on vacation. Like I had a great vacation, Griffin. I really did. It was so nice. I had my toes in the sand. I got a nice sunburn. Look at my tan line. Look at my tan line from my watch. I got sun. I feel great. I had a wonderful, wonderful week. I worked my ass off last week. Okay? Now, all that to say is I can tell you right here and now that so many things happen, and then throughout these meetings, and a lot of them have been, listen, I've not just been meeting with SVP Cameron Stewart. He's fantastic, and he's been putting me in touch with all these guys. I've been in meetings with the direct lead head of engineering.
A fantastic individual.
To allow us to discuss technological needs and technological problems within the client or within, whatever, to directly. So, when we get a technical thing, Griffin, it doesn't just go into file 13 because whoever interprets the feedback doesn't know who needs to talk about this to somebody. Like, how many times have we seen an officer configuration come out wrong? This is exactly why Quazo and Lightbull have Q's Corner. Because so many things in the game don't work the way Scopely thinks that they work. So now we've got that access. We've also got access to the new director of live ops. Okay, new director of live ops. Where, by the way, you want another little piece of good news? I got another little piece of good news that I'm going to leak to you guys. All right, here's another little piece of good news. Here is a little piece of good news. Tarpy, you've been angling this for a really, really long time. Hold on, let me find it.
Okay. What's the good news?
Are we looking for your breaking news?
I want to read it carefully. Yeah, give me the breaking news thing. I like the breaking news thing. Where's that? For the next run of Alliance tournaments, and by the way, we talked about this when I was on the beach, Tarpy. We talked about this when I was sitting on the beach, okay? And I said that I was going to message Cameron Stewart about it, but I didn't. I thought that maybe too much time had passed to get it done for this Alliance tournaments, all right? But for the next run of Alliance tournaments, we will indeed be running partial packs for all specialty ships.
Wow.
That is a thing I've been saying for a long time. Dang. I might like that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And by the way, here's the conversation. And this is crazy. This is crazy. This is nuts because, like, it's the same thing we've been talking about for such a long time. This is, by the way, directly from SV Cameron Stewart. I am a huge fan in customer education and direct monetization for a specified outcome. When games leave it up to the RNG machine, it creates horrible outcomes. My God.
Wow.
Hold on.
Can we read into that?
Hold on. I want to read it. I want to read it again.
I would love to read into that.
I want to read it again. I'm a big fan in consumer education and direct monetization for a fixed outcome. When games leave it up to the RNG machine, it creates horrible outcomes. Now, here's the deal. Swimbot says, you mean like buy 200 Athena parts for $5? Because that would probably sell in the tourney. You want to see something really funny? I'm going to show you something super funny right now. This is my current Alliance tournament screen. And for those of you in podcasts, I just kind of want to point out that I am stuck. I got the worst. I got the worst RNG here today. I got the worst RNG. I gambled on the Athena parts task. Yes, Caledon. I rolled a 35, 35, 35. I needed 200 parts. I got 105. I'm boned for the day.
Oh, I hate that.
I'm boned. All right.
Well, you're not boned. I mean, there's always an alternative.
There is always an alternative. Now, to be specific, and we are going to talk about Alliance tournaments, Mario. We're going to talk about Alliance tournaments. We're going to come back to that, okay? But with specificity, is that a word? I think it is.
Specificity.
Specificity. Yes. Okay.
Specificity.
Specificity.
Yeah.
Specificity.
Oh my God.
Specificity.
You're gonna get me to slap you when I see you guys in 2 days.
To be specifically. Specificity. Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm trying. All right. Now, Cruzito, no, what? You're talking about these random targeted packs? By the way, funny story on that. You guys think I'm a whale. You guys think I'm a whale. And I just want to prove to you I'm not. I want to prove to you I'm not because I got the $19 ones. All right. Just throwing out there. I got the $19 ones. But does that not send a message or what? Does that not send
I got the $200 ones.
Yeah, you did. Kaviji says I didn't even get any. I got the $19 ones. Yeah, Mimi, I did get a targeted pack. I know a lot of people didn't get them. And a lot of people got big ones. It's kind of crazy. Now, so to be clear, I don't know. I can't answer that, Cruzito. I don't know about these targeted packs. Personally, I think that they were all kinds of a big snafu. There's so many targeting errors. People have no idea. This reminds me of the great targeting error of oh my God, what was that event that we never figured out? For years we tried to figure it out. Somebody help me.
Military supremacy.
Military supremacy. The targeting on this reminds me of the mystery of military supremacy. Okay. Nobody knows what the actual formula is. Nobody's got a clue how you get targeted with a pack. Nobody knows.
It's true.
Okay?
It's true.
Nobody knows anything about it. I feel like this is it. We've been trying to find a common denominator all day. All right? Been trying to find a common denominator all day. Can't find it. All right? Look, and Alicia got a level 26 account that got targeted with Fleet Commander Cisco Sigma credit packs. That makes sense.
Well, that's because they know that you're cheating with your secondary account, obviously.
Yeah, clearly, and Alicia, they think you're going to take the 26 account and then somehow transfer those Sigma credits over across the server to your other account.
Bad, and Alicia.
In some form of trade. Okay? Some form of trade. So, yeah, it's... Who knows? All right. But Cruzito, to go back and answer your question, if you want my genuine opinion on this, this was a horribly failed experiment. Okay? Now, the reason I call it an experiment is because I know that they are working on targeting offers. This is clearly an extension of that, in which it makes absolute zero sense to anybody. Okay? But I do know that they've been working with targeted, with targeting packs. And for the record, I'm actually okay with that if they get it working the way that they say that they want to work it. For example, there will be packs that would be targeted to you because you're... Okay, think about this. And by the way, we've actually talked about this. We've actually talked about this in the past, that players are statistically more likely to finish off. Wait, Draven says you're okay with pop-ups. No. I'm talking about targeted packs, meaning, Count DeVille, like you would get offered a pack that I wouldn't necessarily get. Okay? And by the way, no, I'm not talking about the pop-ups. The pop-ups kind of annoy me a little bit. No, I'm talking about targeted ads. Or not ads. God, targeted packs. As in, Canine Tooth gets a $500 pack while I get a $20 pack. All right? But what I'm referring to specifically, and we've talked about this in the past, Griffin, what if I ground something out? Just, by the way, the same reason that we want partial ship blueprint packs. Okay? Mm-hmm. What if I got 75, 80% of the way on something, say, I don't know, Quantum Stream Drive, and then I get magically targeted with a $19 pack to finish it off. For example, let's talk about today. Let's talk about this weekend. Let's talk about Friday. Friday, you guys said you wanted 50% Athena packs. Why? Because you decided originally that you were going to free to play it. You didn't want to spend the $100. But now you've seen it. Now a little time has passed. Now maybe you got a little birthday money. Now maybe you got a little bit of school graduation money. Maybe you're willing to spend 50 even though you weren't willing to spend 100, but now you're willing to spend 50 and Scopely says, nope, don't want it. Well, that's stupid. It's actually stupid. Okay? But what if the game, Kaviji, knew that you had 70% of the blueprints? So they decide to target you with a $25 pack that had 25% of the blueprints in it, which means you could get that pack and now you can have your Athena in the next 24 to 48 hours. You know?
That'd be great.
That'd be kind of cool. So I know that this is some technology, by the way, that they are working on. Cameron and I have talked about this kind of technology. I clearly see that that is what is possibly happening here, but just a complete miserable failure so far. Okay. Now, Blue Meanie says not until gameplay improves.
Well, you know.
That's fair. Hey, listen, I'm not suggesting that you spend money. I'm just saying that there are things that I know I would have spent on. You know, there are things that I know I would have spent on. And this weekend, literally, I must have had, after the Friday show, Tarpy, I must have had probably a dozen or 24 players say, hey, are you seriously thinking they might launch a 50% Athena pack? Because I'll do it. So that's why I had this conversation with Cameron. And by the way, with it, today's Monday. Okay? Within hours, we get this. All right? that says for the next run of Alliance games, we will be running the partial packs for Sphere and Athena.
Perfect.
You know what? That's something the players have asked for years. Why? This is a common sense thing. It's a common sense thing to me. Now, Havermeyer says $0 until all of update 90 is reverted. What do you mean by update 90 being reverted? Are you talking about the battle pass and the choice tokens and all that stuff? Well,
all the things.
If you're talking about Coda, first of all, Coda is never coming back. Okay, I'm just going to ahead and tell you, Coda's not coming back. However, there was another piece of this meeting that I had from Friday that reads as follows. Officer sourcing is continuing to be worked on and pushed by the team, by the content creation team, and we'll have more news to share with you in the upcoming week. All right. Now, by that, what I can say is Coda ain't coming back. All right. However, and for the record, I'm not going to say that Officer Depot tokens are not going to come back, but I was talking to somebody about this. I think it was Vic. Vic, I think it was you in chat today. And I said, you know what? Officer Depot tokens, I love Officer Depot tokens. Okay? Love Officer Depot tokens. Wait, Cyber Demon says we already know Officer Depot tokens are coming back. Oops. It was leaked earlier. I think you might have heard that wrong. I think you might have heard that wrong because that's not the one that's coming back. But unless you know something I don't, which, by the way, I'm super thrilled with. Send that to me in a DM. Because while I love...
Who leaked that?
Yeah. By the way, while I do love...
That's a interesting question.
Yeah. If you mean the if you're talking about the choice tokens, all right, then yes, those are coming. But Officer Depot tokens, yeah, that's right, Demon. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The choice tokens are coming. The Officer Depot tokens, okay, well, we lost direct choice with that, and I don't expect that to come back. However, when I was talking to Vic about in chat today, Griffin, was this. Hey, listen, while I love Officer Depot tokens, I do love that. What I think is a bigger fundamental issue is just the overall sourcing of officers in the first place. Okay, I've got a couple of criteria. One, they need to have day one sourcing. Okay, and I don't mean acquirable on day one, obviously. Okay, what I mean is there needs to be an edge. There needs the path needs to be there. There needs to be consumer choice. There needs to be an opportunity for a consumer to make a decision on whether or not they want to chase an officer or whether or not, like with the Athena, for example, are we going to wait this 100 days or with the Sphere, are we going to wait this 130 or 140 days? Or are we going to get the ship now? Okay, you need to be able to do that. That's right, Mimi. They need to implement a free-to-play path on day one. Here's the map. Here's how you do it. And if you want to save 100 days, here's the pack. Or if you want to save 50 days, here's the half pack that'll be out in 50 days. Okay? By the way, all that needs to be planned and implemented on day one of an arc. Okay? So, my personal preference when it comes to officer sourcing is a little bit deeper than just the depot tokens, guys. It is, I want all officers to have a path right up front. I want us to know what that path is so that we know what we're going to spend. And we know, and when I say spend, I don't mean just money. It might be resources. Okay? It might be an SMS where we know we can get 50 blueprints. You know? It may be some other type of, we can get 20 more blueprints or whatever. We need to know what that path is for that officer, or at least the loop in which it's presented. For example, look at Zephram Cochran. Zephram Cochran. That officer, great. Slow, very slow, but at least it's there. We all know how to get Zephram Cochran. Hey, does anybody know how to get First Contact movie data? Can anybody help me with that one? I'd really love to tier up data. Somebody help me with that. I know where I can get Zephram Cochran. Where do I get data? Anybody help me out with that? Come on, somebody. I know I'm just forgetting about it. Come on. Somebody's got to know. Obviously, there's a free-to-play path for it in the game.
Dude, I can't even buy data.
You can't even buy data. You can rely on the RNG model that, by the way, Cameron Stewart doesn't really like. And if you go back 4 years, you'll remember David Eckelberry saying he didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So why this game continues to push that model, I don't understand. You've had 2 senior level executives now saying that RNG is not the way to go. So why do we keep doing it? Okay?
Ask Billy.
I'm gonna read the quote again. I'm a big fan of consumer education and direct monetization for a fixed outcome. Okay? Now,
says it all.
And we've heard that before, too. Now, Benny Hill says, yet here we are. You know what? And I think that's a great thing. I want to go ahead and release to you guys now that Griffin and I, Thursday, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. I don't think there's any secret to this. And I'll tell you, I've been working on this for days, probably weeks at this point. Griffin and I are sitting down face-to-face in a 60-minute style interview with Cameron Stewart on Thursday. Okay, we have
hard-hitting questions.
I mean,
they're coming.
I have pages. We're talking. This is a 60-minute style interview, where they, listen. And if anybody, by the way, has ever participated or been in this, you'll know. Anybody in the audience who's ever participated in this style of a news interview, you send over an executive summary. Like, you have to send all this stuff back and forth. There's approved questions, not approved questions, yada, 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 right? All this stuff. We sent over our first draft several days ago. A draft came back. What I was surprised at is there was absolutely nothing scratched. Nothing was scratched off the list. I added and modified to the list today and sent over our final list today, Griffin. It's 5 pages long. Okay. Divine says, why not come on a pod and answer audience questions unscripted? We'll get to that point. Remember, this has actually been planned for a really, really long time. All right. And one of those questions, and by the way, I know I'm going to get roasted on this. I know, Divine, I'm going to get roasted on this. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you it's out there right now. One of the pieces of this is to establish a timeline. Because, for example, comments like he makes today. Okay, comments like Cameron Stewart makes today. I'm not a fan of the RNG model. So why do we have RNG in the game? Right? That's a question you guys are asking. I know it has to be. It's a question I'm asking. It's a question I'm asking.
Why has there been more RNGs he got?
Great question.
I have. If he doesn't like it, then why have we gotten more of it?
Brilliant question. Why is it that you've been here since January, yet starting in March, we saw the game essentially grind to a halt? We saw the loss of Coda. We saw the loss of choice tokens. We saw the loss of Officer Depot tokens. We saw 30% cut.
And if that was him delegating, who did he delegate to that made that decision?
Great question.
Is my next question.
Great
question.
questions.
I don't know the answer.
Well, here's the thing. No, here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. Personally, I already know the answer. Okay. But I am going to give him an opportunity to relay that answer to you guys from his own mouth. All right. I know what that answer is. I've relayed it to you guys. We've talked about it on this show. You guys should all know the answer, but it carries a little different weight. As a matter of fact, this is partially due to you guys. Okay? This interview is partially going to be due to you guys, because you guys have said, hey, we want to hear from Cameron Stewart's mouth. If the content creators say it, it gives him plausible deniability. So literally, when we sit down with him on Thursday, he's going to have the opportunity to literally say everything that he's been telling me for weeks. Webster says, Webster, I love this question. He says, is this dude even on full tilt run mode yet? If he isn't yet or just happened recently, we need to let the man cook a little. You know what? I like that mindset.
That's a great point of view.
I like that mindset. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is literally one of the first 2 questions that are going to be asked. Because, Mr. Stewart, your Indeed profile says you started at Scopely in January. So, obviously, you started on day 1, came in, knew the game's economy, and started making changes right away, right? Retrieving? That's what retrieving says. It's been 7 months. Let him cook a little. Bro, at that level, managing an entire portfolio, you know what? I'm not even going to do it. I'm going to let him tell you. Because he didn't start at Scopely and immediately come in. All right. As a matter of fact, he started at Scopely late January. You know what? I'm going to let him tell you. I know this timeline.
Yeah.
I know this timeline. Okay. However, and Alicia says, was there, I'm not going to read that exact comment, but was there already some, hey, let me give you enough leeway to kind of see what you do with it kind of thing? Yeah, I think that existed a little bit too. All right. I think that kind of existed a little bit too. So we're going to let him give you some of these answers. 5 pages of questions. We have, I think, approximately, Griffin, 110 minutes to record. We have to get 60 to 90 minutes of produced content. And by the way, my plan is to keep him engaged for 120 minutes with nothing cut. That's my plan. Because I think he's capable of it.
We can do it.
First of all, and Griffin's met with him too. This guy is a super dynamic guy. He's very likable. And I think he's very smart. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you because this will be his first public interview. And it is going to happen Thursday while we are in San Diego. All right. Coming back from San Diego, there is a full media tour plan throughout the entire month of August. All right. And there's a lot of planning going into that. All right. This guy is going to be everywhere. Starting in San Diego, he's going to be everywhere for about 45 days. And I think that's good. Wilson says it's going to be a lot of words and no action. Well, you know, you keep saying that. But let's look at what we are going to be able to tell you about today. Choice tokens are back in M93, which is literally 4 days away. Okay? So choice tokens are back. Now, did they take them away? Yes. Yes, they did. You're absolutely right, Wilson. But they're back. Okay? Why do you think that came back? It wasn't just because they decided, we're going to flip it back on. It was because there was a ton of feedback coming in. It was because people spoke and talked and fed back and did the surveys and had the meetings and talked about this all day for days and weeks and whatever. And obviously that takes a little bit of time to flip around. And there was research because Cameron Stewart has said economy is one of his biggest concerns. And by the way, I'm gonna quote him on this by saying that the Fleet Command economy is one of the worst in any games he's ever been involved in. Now let that sink in for a minute. If you're on the economy team, Griffin, at Star Trek Fleet Command, and the new senior vice president comes in and says, "Wow, this pretty effed up. This might be the worst thing I've ever seen."
Billy's pissed.
Oh. Okay. Now, Sugar Red says, what does that mean? Oh, it means a lot of things. And we've talked about a lot of those things over the last several weeks throughout my interviews with him. But there's a ton. Listen, I've learned a lot. I've learned a whole lot of terminology. I've learned a lot of things about ways that mobile gaming measures things and how they value rewards. By the way, that's one of my questions. Why does Scopely have a different valuation on its currencies and features than the players? Like, why is it consistently way the far off? Like, why? All right. So that's going to be a question. But I'll tell you, part of what has happened over the last 6 weeks is he is looking at the economy as a whole, and then ultimately decided, with the result of this announcement coming out, that the economic impact of choice was maybe not as detrimental as it might have appeared to be when it was ganked away and everybody was left to stew in misery. Make sense?
Yeah.
In other words, hey guys, okay, well, let's not make everybody super mad. Like, this is the swing, and this is what's going to happen, and this is the XYZ dollar percent, and here's the, RTP ratio, and the, the 1.72 to 3.97412 ratio XYZ to returning players, and then just happy players spend money. Okay? So
can I just jump in here and say, okay, you can't fix the game in 7 months because you also don't want a knee-jerk reaction. And we want them to do it right, not do it twice, because they probably won't get a chance to fix the game a second time. And I personally am okay if they kind of chip away at it, because they're not going to fix everything in a day.
Okay.
And we're not going to believe them even if they did.
Well, true.
And yeah.
Now,
everyone's going to be super good, like gung-ho about how negative they're going to be.
Shiz, is that the drinking word today? Knee jerk? Is that the drinking word today? I guess it could be. We've used it like
I'm
6
driving.
times.
I'm not drinking.
All right. Now,
no, that's what they've done. And I don't want them to try and fix the game in a, oh God, kind of, we need to go the opposite way of what it's doing, because I would rather they do it right. And if their first response is take away choice tokens or depot tokens or whatever, taking away choice and then realizing, oh, we screwed that up, let's put that back, I'm okay with that.
Sure. Well, Saber says, yet they were willing to break the economy in a month. And listen, I don't think that was 1,000% what, they thought the intent was. But again, this comes back to the extreme disconnect, Griffin. This comes back to the disconnect between what's actually going to happen versus the decisions that they make at the leadership level. For example, I see this question. Mr. Zephyr says, and by the way, while I do want to ask this question, I know that it would get scratched. I have no problem sending it over, but I'm going to tell you from a professional standpoint, Mr. Zephyr, there are certain things that executives are not going to talk about. So here's Mr. Zephyr's comment, and I agree with you. I would love to get an answer to this question. I can tell you right now, Griffin, tell me in your professional broadcasting career if you expect SVP Cameron Stewart to answer this question. Why haven't the people who ran Fleet Command into the ground been replaced? Griffin, will we get an answer to that question?
That sounds like an HR geopolitical nightmare.
We'll never get an answer to that question. Here's what I am going to focus on. And by the way, I'm sure that there are going to be people, Mr. Zephyr, who are going to be mad that I don't ask that question. I get it. Okay. There are going to be people who are mad that I don't ask that question. But there's 2 reasons why I'm not going to. One, a good leader would never answer that question. A good leader would never answer that question. Okay. B, he is not going to play the blame game. I can tell you firsthand, based on my conversations with him, he is tackling this full on. He has told me that I can't tell you how many times he says, listen, it doesn't matter what the timeline is. This is my game now. That's right, Skippy. It doesn't help us moving forward. And that's what he's going to want to focus on. He wants to focus on moving forward. He wants to focus on the future. And I can tell you, there's a lot of questions about that. And there's a lot. I know he's going to tell you about amazing things that he's got planned. Thursday, I don't know when this video is going to get published. I'm hoping that it'll be done within a week. Okay? That's my hope. But he is going to tell you about seasons. We're going to get the first look, the first deep look inside seasons this coming Thursday. And hopefully you guys are going to see it within days after. Kaviji says, but, who do we lynch then? You know what? Let this be a turning point. Let this be a turning point. You know what? We've had a rough couple years. And an even rougher 6 months of this year. Like the last 6 months been rough. Why? This is my final question of the day. Why should anybody stick around? Will Fleet Command be here in a year, 2 years, 5 years? And how do you convince your existing player base to give you a shot? That may be one of the most important questions that I sent over today. And I think, based on the conversations that I have had with him, I think he's going to come back to you with a really solid answer.
And a well thought out answer, because that's what's been on his mind for over half a year. I mean, there's a difference between asking who's responsible for this and can we acknowledge what the failures were and what are we going to focus on improving going forward? It's always forward looking. And Cameron is, you're right, DJ, is a very forward-looking person, which is what I love the most about him. He's doing it right from top to the bottom. Before he's made any major change, he has had a sit-down meeting with every single one of his staffers, top to bottom. You got to know who's who in the zoo, and he's taken the time to do that. And yes, it does take a lot of time and a lot of airline miles and probably a lot of Marriott Bonvoy points too.
I can say that. Now, I will say, unless I misspoke, Guffa, I didn't say that everybody hates the game. I said we've had a rough 6 months. We've had a rough couple of years. We have, okay? As in, this game has not been technologically as stable. The economy's not been as fun. It's been expensive to progress. We feel like we're stalled out. We feel choked off. There's no experiences in the game. Okay? So I think as compared to G3, as compared to David Eccleberry's Fleet Command, where the first 3, 4, 5 years of this game was mapped out. I mean, think about that for a second. How long have we been on our decline? And what was the original flight plan of this game?
There are so many people in our audience asking, well, what about unscripted questions? You guys have to understand, there's no need to run in and try to give him a gotcha.
Yeah.
Or an attack. Wouldn't you rather he have time to actually research your question and have the appropriate answer instead of I'll get back to you on that?
Sure.
I guarantee we're not going to get I'll get back to you on that.
No,
but there's no need to sneak attack and ambush.
Yeah, and unscripted questions are a solid way to not get this type of interview again.
For sure.
Like, especially if they're like, if it's like, hey, how you doing today? Like, you have ducks on your shirt, like Jules Verne. Where'd you get that shirt? That kind of unscripted question is totally fine, but you know, somebody's going to get fired over this question.
Sure.
It's not going to be the thing you want to ask.
No, Sherlock, you are 100% right. Follow-up questions are unscripted, and I've got the listen. You guys don't understand how much prep I've put into this. Okay, I tell you, as a professional broadcaster and as someone who has performed radio interviews for over 2 decades, okay, I know how to prep for an interview. And so I sent over today 10 questions. 10. Out of those 10, each one of those 10 have about 10 to 15 follow-ups that are dependent on his original answer. And by the way, because I've been meeting with this guy for about the last 10 weeks, then I know what some of these answers are going to be. You know what I'm saying? I know how he's gonna lean in some of these answers, because again, some of these questions are going to be questions that I already know the answer to. And I want you guys to hear from him. Okay? So I know some of these answers, and some of these follow-ups I'm going to be leading him. But yeah, we've got 10 topics that we're going to touch on. And by the way, Cruzito says, let's talk about tech. which has nothing to do with economy. I don't care about economy if I can't log into the game or click a target. So how about we talk about the tech? Guess what? Big, huge piece of that. Let me share with you. Okay? Today, a conversation with their lead technical engineer in a brand new Discord room.
What?
In a brand new Discord room. And let me read to you. Let me read to you a couple of things. Here we go. And by the way, I like the transparency on this. Okay, I like the transparency on this. Bit of proactive info sharing this morning on our roundup. Besides some of the regular stuff we're working on here, we've got a couple of fundamental top fixes coming in M93, which starts on Thursday. M93, we're continuing to improve the bundle claim experience. We've had a bit of a setback timeline-wise with some failed testing, but it looks like we're coming online this month. More or less a complete rework of the bundle claim code on both client and server, coming with a massive speed up and a 96% improvement in technical performance, as well as UI and UX claiming, also with the compound grouped bundles. They claim a 96% improvement on technical performance, speed up, communication between client and server for bundle claims. Now, funny story. Let me just ask. Now, to a common layperson, this kind of sounds stupid. All right? But do we all experience, by the way, I saw it today. I see it in the evening. I see it about 3 times a day where we get the ever famous game stuck. Game stuck.
Oh.
Game stuck. Event reset. Game stuck. Okay. Do we know what that? We know what that is. Look at Fisty. Something that's been absolutely awful for me the past few days is claiming rewards in the Alliance Tournament store. Horrible lag between each purchase. By the way, that lag and that reset also responsible for your Alliance Tournament store resetting back at the top. You want to know why? Because of the timing, communication between the client and the server, and it refreshes every, 5 seconds? So if it takes you 5 seconds to scroll down to what you want, but then it refreshes, it takes you back to the top, and you end up clicking the wrong bundle and spending your credits on something you didn't actually want. Anybody familiar with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Guffa says, I've actually claimed multiple bundles I didn't intend to. Just trying to click and drag it. Okay? So here are a couple of things. Voltron says the problem is still there. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay? Coming in, M93, they've been working on back-end stuff related to bundle claims. All right? That may sound stupid, but it's a major problem in the game. Even for mobile. Cruzito, you're saying focus on mobile, focus on mobile. This is 100% what okay, here, you want mobile? I got your mobile. I got your mobile.
He's got your mobile right here, Cruzito.
Got your mobile right here. Today, this is at 2:55 p.m. Eastern time. Today. Oh, wait, don't read that one? Okay.
Don't read that one.
Jules says, don't read that one. Okay, all right, not going to read that one. Then Jules says, wait. Wait, why can't I read that one? Okay, I'm not going to read that one. All right, here you go.
I can't read any of them. Well, I can't believe you didn't put me in this Discord room. I quit the show.
Listen, Jules.
Get used to it, Griffin. It's fine.
No.
Jules says, I'm messing with you. I have no idea what you're going to read. Oh, okay, good. All right, good. Today, 2:55 p.m., we are testing a release on limited servers. And by the way, how many times have we asked them to roll something out to live a little bit smaller just to kind of see how it's going to happen? All right. So
yeah, to server 15.
Tell me. I don't know. This is one of those blind science tests. All right. So you guys tell me. Tell me if there's a placebo effect or if you can see it's happening. Okay. Today we released a new quality configuration on limited servers that should improve stability and memory loss on the iPhone products. According to...
Well, that's good news.
According to our software that tracks client crashes, we are reporting today, and this was at 2:55. I don't know when they rolled it out. They were reporting iOS stability north of 98%, which they claim is the highest in the 7-year game's history.
Well, that's great
When did
news.
they? Okay, can
Big
I
round
ask
of applause for
questions on
engineering on that one.
I don't have answers. I have no answers.
questions.
I have no answers.
Can I get you to ask questions though? Because I play on iOS and I have had the worst stability in the last 2.5 weeks, particularly during
what about
territory
today?
capture.
But what about today, Tarpitude?
I don't care about today because I haven't had a territory capture today.
Okay,
My game
so let me reread.
closes every 5
Let me
minutes.
reread.
during territory capture.
Okay, we're gonna stop yelling, everybody, and let me reread the question or the statement. Today, we released on limited servers a new quality configuration that we're experimenting with to improve stability on iOS. According to our tracking software that tracks client crashes today on our test servers, we're reporting north of 98% on iOS, which is the highest it's been in the 7-year history. Okay. Mimi says, obviously, server 30 is not one of these test servers. I'm going to imagine that Tarpy's is not either. Either way, okay. And listen.
I am server 30.
And listen.
But yeah.
For all of you that are saying, I've crashed so many times over the last few weeks. I've crashed so much. My iPhone, by the way, I even joked with him. I said, maybe I should upgrade my iPhone 13 because it's miserable for me to play the game on my iPhone 13. Okay. Benny Hills Ghost says, well, I guess they're not testing on server 42. Okay. 38 either, says Doug. I hope this works. Here's what we're talking about, though. Okay. These are some of the things. And by the way, I think one of the big things, I think, Griffin, I don't want to sit back and believe that this has never been happening. You know what I feel is a change here is perhaps the culture of talking about it.
Yeah.
The culture of sharing these updates and saying to the player base, hey, this is what we're working on. And this is, and by the way, you guys, everybody's saying that, yes, I've been terrible and this has been awful and this has been horrible. And yeah, they know. That's why they're working on it. Okay? That's why they're working on it. That's why. And by the way, do I think that they developed a new quality configuration for iPhone, this weekend? No, they've probably been working on it for weeks. Okay? So that's today, by the way, today from the director of engineering.
I love it.
Here we go. Screen transitions. And again, we're talking, I have a feeling, if I'm a guessing man, somebody like Cruzito, or somebody like, I don't know, Putz, is going to come out and be like, I don't care about screen transitions. But
I hate them.
But to somebody like Sudo and Lightbull and Guffa, developers who understand the bandwidth, right? Who understand what that level of code does to the entire infrastructure. Let's talk about this. Screen transitions comes in 2 buckets: stability and performance. We've completed R&D as well as released a telemetry update. I don't know what that means. And now have better insight into which game screen transitions are providing the most instability and lead to a frozen game state while navigating. We also have good insights now into what transitions take the most time to refresh and load onto the client. So over the next 90 days, we're going to be releasing iterative improvements on both of these new areas of telemetry updates to improve lag and improve speed on screen transitions.
I love that.
All right. Now, by the way, don't ask me what the hell that means. Okay? What I hear
it's a diagnostic update. It's taking data from the clients and how it gets back to it's telemetry. The word telemetry, it's in the name.
All right. Now, Wilson, you shut it. All right. This, by the way, this is not even big announcements. All right. This is me. Okay. This is me needling my way into that cow rectum. All right, I'm getting in there.
Ooh.
Getting in there. Okay.
Rude.
I'm getting all up in there. Okay.
Yep.
Wilson, these are not big announcements. This is not in-game newsworthy. This is them opening up access. Okay. This is them communicating. All right. Wilson says more announcement than Scopely gives. Who cares? Fine. Who cares? Fine.
So your job is to communicate things from Scopely to the player base. That is in fact what's happening.
That's what's happening. Now, I know, listen, there are people that hate my guts, all right? I've been very, very made aware of that over the last couple of days. It's completely fine. Whatever. I got a thick skin. It's fine. I'm a big boy, all right? People are going to say I shouldn't be sharing this information. Scopely should be. What is it? Scopely's working. They're busy. And we'll just leave it at that. Okay?
Maybe we should change the second C from creator to communicator. You're
Sure.
a content communicator.
We're a content communicator.
Congratulations.
Okay. But Wilson, to your point, here's what I'm going to. I don't care what Scopely should do. Yeah, they should. Okay. But I also don't expect announcements for all this. You know what this is? Like a daily blog. Right? This is like, what are we working on? What are we doing? And
Change blog.
And change. And by the way, I think for me, this is the culture. This is the culture shift I see, and that I hope that some of you guys are going to recognize, like Vic and Wilson, is this right in and of itself is proof positive for me. The culture shifting a little bit because I have direct lines of communication with multiple heads of departments now. And for the record, we're then able to come out and tell you about this stuff.
And never.
We're able to come out and tell you about this stuff. By the way, this screen transfer rolling out there first. We said over the next 90 days, they are 93.x, okay, which plan to roll out sometime during M93, but it could be a month later, could be early, whatever. Don't know. Okay. What's happening? I'm dropping frames. I see that. I'm dropping frames. Whew. And Alicia says these conversations sound like an employee trying to keep their boss up to date on their projects while trying to keep their job. You know what? Maybe. But you know what? You know what I appreciate? I appreciate the fact that they're actually defending it to us. Right? And Alicia says these conversations sound like an employee trying to keep their boss up to date. I don't know. Are the players the bosses? What is happening?
Yes.
I have Griffin just fine, but I'm losing. I do have dropped frames. We're just going to let that sit for a second. I'm going to let it sit.
Close Star Trek Fleet Command.
You know what? Let me close Star Trek Fleet Command. I've got the yellow spindle of death. Let's just see if that. Oh, it's getting better.
That's exactly what it is.
What? I'm back to.
Yeah, you have me, but not him because we're both going to the Twitch mothership, and it's his Wi-Fi that's the.
You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? You know what I did? You know what I did? Engineering. I closed my game.
You closed Star Trek Fleet Command.
I closed Star Trek Fleet Command, and all of a sudden my bitrate went back to normal. And you guys now have helium mode while it catches back up.
Interesting.
All right. Yeah, telematize that. All right. Telemetry that.
What was that word?
Telematize.
What was that word?
Telematize. I'm going with it. It's mine. Okay. Yeah, shiz.
It should be on the coffee, right?
Okay. Guffa says right now, Community now has something that's take a bunch of. That wasn't just me. It was the community mod sync. Hey, Guffa sees it. Guffa, look at my data. Look at the data. Look at the data.
Oh.
No, I'm good now. I'm at a frame right now. Oh, there it goes. Yep, there it goes.
Interesting.
Hold on, let me make sure. Let me close out. Let me close out of everything. It is still dropping, though. Or my internet was dropping because I had the yellow Wi-Fi symbol. Possible. I am dropping frames now. Oh, we'll just give it a second. We'll just give it a second. Or, you know what? Of course, data's going to drop tonight, Tarpy, when I don't have the backpack easily set up for a transfer. Which I have that. Like, or at least over the last 2 weeks. Fisty says that. But here's the funny thing. I still have Griffin. Yeah. I still have Tarpy. It's literally just my connection to Twitch, which is so weird. That proves it's not my internet, guys.
Wasn't before, was
yes.
it? IRL Toolkit again?
Yes.
Today you lost your mind and rage quit the show?
Yes.
How does everybody else stream to
yeah, because
YouTube and Twitch?
Everybody. I do. You know what? It's funny. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I do have a backup. But of course, today is not the day that I have it set up because it's packed up in the house because I just brought it back from the beach. Maybe Twitch is having issues.
Get the sand out of it first.
I do probably need to get the sand out of it. All right, but you know it's funny because I still have Griffin and Tarpy, so weird.
Yeah. Got
close out a bunch of stuff. Anything that could be taking bandwidth, I'm going to close it all. Hold on. You know what? Let me check my OneDrive. Let's turn that off. And my Google Sync. Let's turn that off. Oh.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
I'll turn off all the syncy things. What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Just
what
like
is that?
Griffin takeover.
What is that?
Idea. Get...
Oh, you know what? Jules has it.
What's Jules have?
You forgot to charge your flux capacitor.
Ah, damn it.
You forgot to charge your flux capacitor.
Well, let me give you a timestamp, everybody. Let me give you the timestamp that you can
gigawatts,
you can go into the podcast because
20.
Nothing ever bad happened in the podcast. It should be like, an hour and 40 minutes in. I don't even have an accurate timestamp. But anyway, okay. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, they're just confused why you've been.
You're right. About an hour 40.
About all of this because it sounded fine the whole time.
Shut it off! I know everything sounded great on our end. All right. No, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I don't have the KBS unit ready to go. I don't have the KBS unit ready to go because it was packed up. It was packed up with the supplies that I came back with from the beach, so I don't have it. So, anywho.
Hey, Griffin.
Well, make your point.
Can I get you to pack an extra? Oh, okay. I'll wait.
What? Pixelate, thank you for your resub. Appreciate that. 77 of 77. Thank you for your 24 months at tier 3. Wilhelm, 46 months at tier 1. Thank you. Killer Cujo, 7 months at tier 1. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Mr. Zephyr writes, circling back on the unscripted conversation. Unscripted doesn't need to be necessary, but if he has obvious PR word salad answers, he'll do more harm than good. No, see, that's exactly my point right there. That's why we send the questions so that we can get real meaningful answers. But I'm here to tell you, Mr. Zephyr, 100%. Here's what I believe. I believe that this man is capable of having a real conversation about something that he understands. And the things that I'm going to be talking to him about are not necessarily gameplay mechanics. Okay? I'm not going to ask him about the battle triangle. You know what I'm going to ask him about? I'm going to ask him about player retention, economy, stability, engineering. Where do you see the game going? Why is the game in the place it is now? What can you do to fix it? Okay? These are executive level questions. I don't expect him to know what event is running today. I don't think he's going to know that answer. All right? What I want from him is the CEO level direction, the CEO level answers. And that's what we're going to hopefully get. I know we're going to get them. All right? Now, coming back, go ahead, Matt.
If he can explain the battle triangle, he gets 100% of my trust. If he can explain it properly.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't know if you're going to get that matters. All right? He's a business guy. He's an economy guy. All right?
I think he understands rock, paper, scissors, though.
I would hope so.
If he can't explain to you rock, paper, scissors, then I think we have a bigger problem.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
And Strider just pointed out he knows how captain maneuvers work, so he might know Battle Triangle.
That is true. Okay. He does know about, and by the way, we're talking, that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about with you guys earlier, was just about the general officer thing, about depot tokens and why I don't think that's going to return. But we're still having these conversations about officer sourcing. And I'll tell you, you know what? Here, I actually do have something else I can tell you. I got something else. This came from a meeting on Friday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this came from a meeting on Friday. Let's see if I can find it.
Beside the button.
Yeah. Well, again, these new places where I'm communicating with these people is great. And there's a lot of information coming through, and there's a lot of decisions being made, and there's a lot of feedback being asked. And by the way, I circle back to this is the culture change. This is some of the action I think that we should be happy we're seeing. All right. Even if it's just it's just like, hey, we're going to open up about some of the stuff we're working on. We're going to open up about some of the problems that we're experiencing. We're going to open up about, et cetera, et cetera. And we are being given access to that. And by the way, I don't just mean me. Okay? Got a whole gaggle of people in here. All right? That are being involved with some of these conversations. Again, do you let me ask, Griffin, do you trust me to have an engineering question?
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
You shouldn't. Okay?
Sure.
I don't know what telemeterize means. Okay? That's not a thing for me.
Oh, I thought you meant like, how come I have to wait 10 seconds before the attack button will let me click? Wouldn't that be an engineering question?
Yeah, that would be an engineering question, but I would need somebody to ask that in an engineering smart way.
Oh,
Okay.
no, that's exactly how to ask that question. I'm getting my butt kicked in my super expensive ship in territory capture. I have all the things. We've done all the things. I click on a ship. I wait 10 seconds before I can hit attack. Boom, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Why? See, that's a perfect engineering question.
Yeah, that would be good. Here's another one. Here's another one, guys, and I know that this, because we released this to the content creators yesterday, or maybe it was Saturday, I don't remember. But yeah, the bulk claim that we asked about, that we didn't want to be locked behind a 7-day remote, a 7-day login. And by the way, in fairness or in defense of that decision, again, your new boss comes in and says, I want every effort made to get people logging in every single day. I want 100% of your attention on getting players back into the game 7 days a week. If that's the directive, if that's the CEO level directive given to a team, and by the way, I shared this with you when it happened. Okay? I shared this with you when it happened. This is a misinterpretation or a disconnect with what the players actually want, need, and or are willing to tolerate. Okay? That's the disconnect there. But the directive was get them to log in. So what did we do? We took an amazing quality of life update and we locked it behind a 7-day login streak.
Woo.
Not a reward.
Oh, Nelly.
Not a reward, but a basic function of the game. Dark Smith says make the game fun. You know what would make the game? Having 30 minutes of less clicks. That would make the game fun for me, or at least more fun. Funner. Is that a word? That would make the game more funner.
More
Okay?
funner.
Take away some
Way more funner.
Take away some of my checks, my check boxes, my chores. Okay? But don't lock it behind a 7. Great news, Dark Smith. Great news. In M94, everybody, 100%, will have bulk claim unlocked to them free with no claim requirements, no streaks, no ifs, ands, or buts, just a good old-fashioned quality of life update. Everybody. In the place of the 7-day streaks, all right, we're going to see more of some of the stuff they've been tinkering with in the Battle Pass, which, by the way, doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Like this 10,000% increase to warp speed, I'll that. I'll take it. I've enjoyed that this month. Anybody else? Listen, don't anybody say, because we've been talking about this all month. This has been, you know what? It's a time saver. It is less boring, less waiting, more getting to the action, quicker getting to the action. Okay, Kavich, yes, it's been great. Polar Bear says, love it. Okay, me too. I'm waiting less. Time is valuable, right? Time is money. Isn't that what they say? Make me
Indeed.
wait less. Okay? Divine says Mythic only. No, we were talking about these are the types of rewards they're going to tinker with the 7-day streaks. Okay? Crizito. Are you playing on iOS? Maybe I should try to get your server with one of the new upgrade telemeterizations. Okay. Telemeterization. All right. If you're playing on iOS. How can we use that Warp Exo? What? How can you use the Warp Exo? I
don't get it.
Go
understand.
somewhere far away and profit.
I don't understand the question.
Because you get there about a third of the time.
By warping.
Oh, so it was only
a month ago.
It was in
That's
the.
how you use it.
Was it in the Elite Pass? Is that where it was?
Yeah, it was in the paid Battle Pass. Yeah.
Well, great news, Retrieving. If you haven't had a chance to experience that yet, then something like that could end up coming. All right. They're experimenting with convenience items. And by the way, that's the right thing to do. Griffin, if your concern is economy, then how about we improve the chores or the terribleness that we're forced to endure?
Yeah, so you get to the fun part faster. I like that.
Convenience items. You know, I like ideas like that. I like ideas that save us time, that allow us to play more. Warp time. What's the purpose of warp time in this game? Truthfully, let me just ask, is there not a reason, truthfully, that every ship in the game should be able to get anywhere in the game in under 60 seconds? Seriously. No, I mean, I know that there's timing of showing up to an armada and popping into the circle at the right time so that you don't die and all this other stuff. I mean, is that a thing anymore?
Oh, yeah, it is right now during the Open Armadas event, for example. Okay. We are definitely coordinating
60 seconds. 60 seconds. That's all it should take. Anyway, I digress. Stuff like that. Okay? Stuff like that.
Let's not be digressing during our interview with Cameron. If I find that you are digressing, I'm going to click my pen 2 times.
Fair enough.
If you hear the click 2 times, then there you go.
I've got a very.
You're not going to stop clicking that pen.
I'm going to
bring something bigger.
Guys, I even have a leather. I have a leather bound notebook with a leather embossed Ford logo on one side. I got a couple of years ago. It's very professional looking. And when I have it open, it's got a nice pad. It's got a really nice pen in there, so I can write in beautiful ink, and so I'm going to put my interview notes in there, and I'm going to pretend like I'm writing, like they do on 60 Minutes.
And then you're going to forget it in your house and not even bring it.
Maybe that's possible.
We know you.
That's possibility. Okay. Divine said if warp was that
Griffin,
fast, there'd be no need for summoning. Okay, I mean, are we going to eat hot wings? No, Rantsusi, this is going to be a serious business. Yes. Serious business. Okay?
And Alicia says, no, forget the pen. Bring a water spray bottle. That's a great idea. Perfect.
All right.
Okay, if anyone's from San Diego who's listening, so if Pseudo is here or VNX around, let me know where the best places to get hot wings are.
Not interested.
And I can make that happen. I don't care if you're not interested, man. I want wings. It doesn't matter if I throw them at your face.
Wow.
You're going to eat.
All right.
Uh-huh. This isn't all about you. This is my vacation too, friend.
Fair enough.
You know, in San Diego, we're really not known for our hot wings. I mean, you know, I can show you some great Mexican food.
Then let's do that. And make it really spicy
Yeah.
because DJs.
I don't
eat
want
it,
spicy.
but we'll make him like it because it's really good spicy.
All right.
Oh
Anyway.
yeah, we'll go to the Albert Tacos and we'll get the spicy chorizo.
Let me
with
just point
with the
out
sour cream on top.
that I'm the one here trying to say, hey, let's get it back on the rails because we're running short on time.
Oh please,
What
whatever.
rails?
You've been
You're the
bloody
one.
blind for the last 15 minutes.
I just
You've been monologuing for like 2 hours.
I think that's fine. People come here for information. They don't come here for fluff. They come here to know what's going on. They come here to know what's going on in Star Trek Fleet Command. All right, so here we go.
If that's true, then why do they come back?
All right, here you
Now,
go. We're going to
that's
wrap
the
up.
question.
We're going to wrap up with a couple of things, and then we're going to move into Alliance tournaments very quickly because I want to get to this too while we've got some time. So again, choice tokens back in M93. This I gave you guys. I painted the historical picture on M90, and then the horrible decisions that were made in M91. M93 is going to look like this. Okay, choice tokens are coming back. The bundles up in the event store are going to be updated for that. Thank you, Caledon. You read my mind. I say I'm trying to get back on the rails. DJs, you said the battle pass is being inflation adjusted. Are we getting hosed on cost on SMSs and SLBs? Probably, Caledon. Listen, but that has
That's a live ops question. We don't know yet.
But
That's a later problem.
That has nothing
That's
to
a
do with
Friday
the battle
problem.
pass. Listen, the inflation with the packs actually happened this month. Okay, it happened this month. I mean, have you guys not seen it? Any of you pack spenders, you've seen it this
No.
month. All right. It happened. It happened in M90.
It did happen.
Yeah.
Yes, it did happen.
It did
Yes.
happen. All right. So the inflation occurred for M92. So Mimi says they've already inflated the event milestones, which is the correct answer, or at least that should have happened. Okay. They should have already done it because when they do an inflation, you guys got to remember, and we haven't done inflations in a couple of years. Okay, they haven't done inflations in a couple of years. So Philly says, yep, they sure did. Inflations have not happened in a couple of years. So if you're within the last 2 years to the game, you probably haven't seen this. No, Divine, you're missing it. It already happened. It happened this month. Okay, it happened this month. Anytime an inflation happens in packs, all of the paid events inflate with it because they have a dollar amount. Okay, for example, if I say I'm going to give 50% of the shards of a heroic officer, we know, generally speaking, that is valued at roughly $200 in their mind. Okay? Divine said inflation's broke the economy. Partially, yes.
Well,
Dolomites also. And then designing costs based on primes, based on the assumption of people had primes, that's what broke the economy. All right? But
Indeed.
But because the economies are so expensive right now, Divine, especially G7 and a lot of G6, they're so expensive, the economy stalled out. Do we remember how many percentage of players are actually G6 plus? We'd have to get an updated chart from Chronox, but I bet you it's still less than 15%.
Itty bitty.
I bet it's still less than 15%. Let's find out what it is. You guys figure it out. Okay. By the way, Divine.
Well, the average level is 47.
Divine says Scopely idea of value is different to our value. Guess what? That's on my question. That's on my question list. Okay. Why? Where is the disconnect in value? Okay. And Alicia says 10%. Here you go. MJ says G6 plus 20.5%. Thank you very much. All right. So I'm surprised that it's above 15. You got 2.7% in G7, which, by the way, is about 0.7% higher than it was a month ago. All right. So you've got 20% of the game in an economy that is unsustainable. And you wonder why people aren't moving up. You've got 80% of the game in an economy that is over 3 years old. I want you to think about this for a second. You've got 80% of the game. That's right, Fullman. How does that make sense? That's why I'm saying I don't think they ever expected it to be this way. I don't think they ever expected it to be this way. I think that they expected people to be jumping into G6 and G7 in droves, but it didn't happen. But the roadmap, the plan was already there to develop these content. So now they got to get these people bumped up. So what did they do? They just blasted the lower end of the economy. I'm part of that problem. I encouraged it. I said, get the players to G6. Cameron Stewart says, no, that's stupid. All right. And by the way, he had no problem telling me why that was stupid. All right. He had no problem telling me why that was stupid. I've spent years advocating for getting people to G6, designed for 2 generations, and you've licked the problem. He's like, yeah, but what are you doing for the experience for G1 through G5? And by the way, let's point out that G5 and down still contains 80% of the player base.
Whoops.
Oops. There is a forecasting problem if I've ever seen one. You want to know why the economy's wrecked? That's why.
That's why.
They're programming the game for 20% of players. 80% of players are being ignored. Or not necessarily ignored, but their economy's jacked up. They're buying $100 and going to Ops 40.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Whoops.
Stradalorian says, I wouldn't rush them. They need to experience the lower levels like we used to. Well, there's a balance there. There's a balance there, Stradalorian. You don't necessarily want them to take 5 years to go through it. All right? But you do want them to be able to experience some of the newer content.
Is there a server out there who has like one player just wrecking everybody with an ISS jellyfish?
I wish there was. I mean, I'm sure there is. I did that. I tried that.
Interesting.
On a
That
server.
existed a year ago when the first person on any server got a vengeance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Kavichi says G5 is a terrible generation. Our entire focus on progression is getting out of it as fast as possible. Kavichi, I don't think the rest of the G5 community is with you on that. Because 80% of the
so much better than G6.
80% of the player base is still there. All right? 80% is still not in G6. They're chilling out in G5 and down. You know? So, Count DeVille says everything after 39 was a mistake. Well, again.
Oh.
All right. Now, circling back. You got a button for that. Circling
Circular
back.
rails.
I liked it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Griffin. Where was I going?
You don't even know where you were.
No, I have no idea where I was. Where was I?
Okay, so I thought we were circling on the same rail, so you knew where you were going to be.
Yeah, don't know now.
About the economy or about
I forgot completely.
Or
Primes.
Can we just move on to alliance tournaments and then come back to the other thing?
How many leaks would a leak duck leak if a leak duck could leak leaks? That's the next thing on Tarpy's show notes. Honestly, that's on Tarpy's show notes. I'm not making that up. She put that in there. She put that on there just to mess with me. So, faction bulk claim coming in M94. I think we were talking a little bit about the Battle Pass and some of the contents. Oh, Battle Pass changes. All right, so I'm going to give you the formula. And I said this earlier. This is the straight up math, okay? We talked about the history of M91 and why it sucked. It was a 30% pay cut. When Jules and I were notified of the reversion of choice tokens back in M93, I will tell you right off the bat, immediately, the number one question, we wrote the same question within seconds of each other. Please assure us that this does not come with a choice tax. Because we got a choice tax years ago. Then you took away the choice, and we took a 30% pay cut. So we don't want the choice to come back and take another pay cut. If anything, what we would really, really like is to go back to M90 levels of choice. And their response was as follows. It is going to be M91 levels of choice, levels of payout with choice because, and this is why we talked in the very beginning, okay? Stradalorian, hang on, follow me through. Because they moved a third of the value into the login calendar. They're not going to take the login calendar away. Now, the reason, and Tarpy can circle back on this. No, don't put your head in your hands, Hattermeyer. Don't put your head in the heads.
My head is in my hands, too. Don't tell me what to do.
Right, retrieving. No choice tax. So we don't have a choice tax on this one, mainly because we still got hit with the 30% tax. Webster Sponge says, I hope we get a pay cut so I can laugh at all you. No, I don't think, we're not going to get another one. We already got it. We already got the 30% pay cut. Okay. Wait, Divine says so worse than M92. What are you talking about? M91 and M92 were the same as far as the free track and the calendar. Okay. M91 plus M92 or M91 is equal to M92. Go ahead, Tarpy.
Can I ask a question on the choice tokens? So this is something I'm concerned about, is that they take what was in the free track before and then move some of that into the mythic track.
That did not happen.
So well, if they do that for choice tokens, because they didn't have choice rewards when they had a mythic track. And so when we got that 30% overall pay cut, like, yeah, that also included how much we would have gotten in the paid tracks.
Jules?
Because those also got a pay cut.
Jules, I feel like I just want to rip this Band-Aid off, and just so everybody doesn't freak out about it. Just give me a thumbs up. Or eat a cookie. Show me cookies. Show me your cookies.
Oh my gosh.
Jules Verne says leaks.
Great answer.
I'm gonna interpret that as I approve. All right, guys, the battle pass. When I said the battle pass is going back to the battle pass we know, I mean wholeheartedly going back to the battle pass we know. It's going back to 20 days. It's going back to 2 tracks.
So no mythic track.
There's no mythic track. All right, it is literally going back to exactly the way it was. Okay, it is.
Oh, there you go.
So now they're changing the calendar back to 20 days after several months of 27 days.
No.
Okay.
You
just said that.
Hang on. You
just said 20 days.
Tarpy, give me a break, okay? The battle pass is going to last 20 days. The arcs are still on 28-day cycles. That part is not changing. The battle pass is going to be launched over 20 days. You can see they're already kind of tinkering back with this officer command pass, which is going to replace the battle or the officer flash pass. I mean, literally, they're resetting. They're going back. Okay, they're going back. 2-track battle pass, free track, $20 track. Okay, the overflow will not return. Laughing, because that was also a question that we asked. The overflow will not return because they're keeping the calendar. Your desealing rod fragments are going to stay there. Mimi says, so we're giving you an 8-day break then. Not really. They're actually going back to a plan. They're actually going back to a plan that we actually kind of all presented to them many moons ago, which is where that 4th week is going to be used for some scheduled, structured, recurring fun things. Like that could be where they stick an incursion or an alliance tournament or echoes of V'ger or et cetera, et cetera. Wilson says, where are the desealing rod sourcing then? Not changing. Not changing. Desealing rods are going to stay in the calendar, and they're going to stay in that 7-day event that we've got now. Okay? So that's where those are going. So that they basically are not returning an overflow to the regular battle pass. At least that was the plan as of earlier today. And the desealing rods are not going to change where they are. Okay. They're going to stay in the calendar. They're going to go in the 7-day event series. Okay. Nelson says, I kind of actually like the Mythic Pass. You know, the funny thing about the Mythic Pass, Nelson, I didn't necessarily mind it either, but it came at such a cost. It came at such a cost. Now, and Alicia says the 90 free in the free track and 270 in the paid track were in the 27-day battle pass. That, I don't know where that's going to go, and Alicia. The 90, by the way, I did tell them about the 90 in the free track. I did petition them to keep the 270 in the paid track, but I don't know. They've got big plans for the $20 pack, the $20 path. So I don't know if that's going to stay there. Okay, but that was never part of the free-to-play calculation anyway. As a matter of fact, it's only been in that battle pass for 2 months. All right, it's only been there for 2 months. So I definitely am not going to claim precedent on that. We got an extra 720 desealing rod fragments by buying the battle pass for 2 months. However, part of this thing is the following mission, if you will. Griffin, tell me what this means to you. I want the battle pass to be a no-brainer. I want 100% of players in the game be so extremely tempted by our battle pass that it is the only $20 that they're willing to spend in an entire month. That's a really interesting quote.
Sounds great to me.
And by the way, Tarpy, this is actually a mentality that we've talked about before. Matters, tell me if this is not a mentality we've talked about before. Even you guys have said, hey, listen, why are we milking whales when there's so much more money to be made off of microtransactions from everybody in the game? Does that make sense? I mean, think about this. We're talking about, I want to make a $20 pack that is so undeniably good that everybody in the game buys it, so that we don't have to worry about $100 packs, so that we don't have to worry about over monetizing ships or upgrade packs or this or that, so that we can afford, and by the way, this is now my interpretation, so that we can afford to be a little bit more liberal with resources and materials, so that we can be a little bit more liberal with progression, so that we can come back and give players the experience. Now, how many months have we been, well, how many shows have we been talking about Cam talking about wanting to take the game back to an experience-based game instead of a progression-based game? I can't wait till he tells you guys about seasons, because I've heard a little bit more about it this past week, and I'm kind of, I mean, again, I'm with that, but I kind of like it. You know? Kaviji says other games with this model have $5, $10, $20, and $50 packs for literally everything. They've hamstrung themselves, stuffing everything in at the $100 mark. Well, that was kind of what we were talking about today. You know what? That's how we got $50 Athena and Sphere parts coming in from the next Alliance games. You know you know how I convinced? You know how I got to convince them of that? It was really simple. It was a question or a statement that we've kind of made here, Griffin, for the last, I don't know, 5 years. $50 is more than the $0 you made on the $100 pack 50 days ago.
Yep.
I mean, it's real simple math, right?
Yeah. How many times have several of us said, okay, if you sell some of these packs for $20, probably more than 5 people would buy them, including the number of whales who would have bought the $100 pack. Now, I think more than 5 times as many people would spend $20 if the pack was good enough.
Well, now, Divine says that's a careful line. DJ, you got to tread carefully. Are we going to go over to a subscription model where the game costs $20 to even reasonably be able to play? Well, no, I don't think that. I think that we're still going to preserve the free-to-play model, and you've got content creators and moderators that are committed to doing just that. We've got Putz, and we got Karkin, and they hold me to task. Trust me, they do. Putz was lighting into me today about Alliance tournaments. All right? And Wardod, you're right. We've had this conversation a lot before. You're absolutely right. We've had this conversation for years. So why are we just now seeing any kind of movement on this kind of conversation? I don't know. But I mean, I'm gonna credit the X factor that I know of. That X factor is this guy I've been talking to for a couple of weeks, and I'm kind of glad for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of glad for it.
Yep.
That's the culture change. That is the X factor that hopefully we're going to continue to see some of this shift. All right. I'm here to tell you this $20 battle pass, I don't think we've ever seen anything quite like it. I don't ever seen anything quite. Maybe one time.
I like it.
I can think of something that might be close, but this listen, his mission statement was this: I want a $20 battle pass that is a no-brainer. Well, if you have to think about whether or not you want the kitchen sink in it, then you might have to think about it. All right. Other than that, could be a thing.
Can you reread the second part? The second sentence that he wrote?
I've already clicked off of it. I'd have to go back and find it. But he said he wanted a no-brainer pack. He wanted a no-brainer pack.
Yeah,
that would
the wording
that
of
would,
the second
that would force
me...
100% of players to consider spending $20. That's what he wanted.
But it said like he wanted it to be like the only $20 that players were willing to spend. He wanted it to be that good.
No, he wants, yes. He says that if you were going to spend anything in the game all month long, if you were going to buy one thing in the game, he doesn't want it to be a $100 pack. If you were going to buy one thing in the game, he wants it to be this $20 pack, and he wants 100% of players to do it.
Or no, he wants. I think what you said in one of them, it was a little bit more enticing to me, was to consider it, because I think it would be great if everyone had the $20 to spend on the game and do that and all of that. But considering spending the money, like, hey, you know what? I have been free to play for all 5 years I've played this game, and Retrieving or Mimi or any of the free to play we know of, Potts, Karkin, they look at that and they say, you know what? This is the first time in years I have been really, really tempted by this. I think that's what they're going for. Not necessarily, we want players to feel like they have to buy this to engage with the game. They want people to be tempted. They don't want people to be forced.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good clarification.
There's a terminology difference there that's really important, I think, for the divines of the world that are worried that if you don't get the battle pass, you won't be able to do anything.
Well, here's two pieces of calculation.
Yeah.
Here's two pieces of calculation for you. You guys, if you're having trouble with the stream, just refresh, because I am showing green. We did have problems earlier in the show, but I haven't dropped a frame in like 30 minutes. So if you're having trouble, then maybe refresh on that end, because I'm okay here. I was dropping earlier, but yeah, that's right, Shelby. Basically, he wants to make a $20 pack that's irresistible. That's what he wants. He wants everybody in the game to say, this is what I want to buy this month. All right. That being said, yeah, I think if 100% of players bought that one pack, then he would prefer that over Wales dropping a bunch of $100 packs. Honestly, I think that's honestly what he wants. A more diversified consumer base. Who wouldn't want that?
It's because he's very smart and he understands that the battle pass isn't just $20. The battle pass is a commitment to stay engaged.
Yes! Oh my God!
Not a commitment, but
where's the button? Where's the ding button? Where's the ding button? Where's the ding button? The ding button. Right here.
You're good. He's got his own button.
Thank you, Griffin.
100%. 100% matters, because what's been his goal from the very beginning matters. Bring it full circle for me, baby. What's been his goal from the very beginning?
Daily engagement.
7-day logins.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. Yep. Marsport says this is obvious stuff we've been saying for years, but isn't it nice to now hear it reciprocated, Marsport?
Yeah, somebody's actually listening and taking action. Hello.
Isn't it nice to actually feel like it's reciprocated today? All right, so that is good. Okay.
This is one of those things where a few weeks ago I remember saying, okay, if they start fixing things, or when they start changing things, we also have to be open to seeing that. You don't have to like changes necessarily, but you have to at least be open to saying, hey, I see that they are doing something.
Yeah.
Because if every time you look at the game and say, it's not better because they haven't done this, and this thing, because that's what's high on your priority list, it isn't necessarily what's on their priority list.
Yeah.
So we also have to be open as a player base to saying, hey, this has changed. They have listened to something, they have changed something, and that is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or at least it's a thing.
Yep. I agree. And
agree.
again, the fact that we're seeing some changes. Guys, there's been a lot more. And honestly, I've got a lot of raw notes that I haven't been able to even kind of finish. Because, again, with all these meetings and everything, I go through the notes and I write everything. And then I put everything together and then with our team. And there's more here that I haven't even been able to do. There's more stuff that I haven't even been able. For example, I see Jules Verne. Jules Verne has asked for an Alliance tournament task for spending assault directives. Okay, that's in here. I want to prove it.
What's an assault?
All right, that's here. That's in this chat. Is
an asphalt.
Jules Verne wants an Alliance tournament task for assaults. Coming around to Alliance tournaments, we're going to spend a few minutes on this because then I want to get ready to end the show, and we've spent more time on this piece. So but you know what? I feel like it's deserved conversation. We haven't been able to really talk over the last week, and I have had a ton of conversation over the last week. So I know that we should have talked about Alliance tournaments tonight, and we're gonna gloss over, but Tarpy will definitely do some more on this in a pod over the next week or so, because Alliance tournaments came out. There was some really loud criticism of this, but I don't know that it has been super universal. This is a conversation that we really do need to have, and Tarpy wanted to open it up to feedback, and we're just not going to have the time to do it tonight, but hopefully we can do some of this in chat.
Tonight.
Hopefully we can see some of it in chat. See, here's the thing. Mars Sports says, I scored 270,000 points, didn't spend a dime. Polar Bear says, I got the 14 tasks before I couldn't do anymore. Did it free to play. Chris says...
Wait, are we on 14? Or are we 12? It's day 4, right?
No, today is day 5.
Oh, this is the last day.
Yeah, today's day 5. Lost In says, I continue to say it's not so bad. I am in agreement. All right, even Putz. Let me read you something from Putz, unless Putz wants to come in and read it himself, but we probably won't be able to hear him. And by the way, this is something that I talked about even on the beach stream Friday. I said, listen, there's a little bit of choice in here. Putz, my score 205,000. 205,000. Loot is less on Legacy, but I got more on the new legendary currency. I don't know how much more new I'm going to get, but I'm probably down approximately, and by the way, he did all this math, which I find to be very admirable. He says, I'm probably down about 7,700 Legacy loot, which, by the way, is not that much. That's 2 tasks. I'm down 7,700 Legacy loot, but gained a lot more of the new legendary loot. And this is not including the new distribution from the placing in Alliance tournaments. So let's say I'm down roughly 2 to 3 old tasks worth of loot and gained a lot more new loot. I will take that trade. However, I worry about sustainability. Fair enough. You know what? I think that is a mathematical response. And Putz was very critical for the first couple of days. Super critical. But what he found was a score for his Alliance of 205,000. And only ended up being 7,700 loot, but is going to pick up on that much more legendary loot that he can start working on the new generation, the next generation of stuff. Okay? Skippy says, look at your Alliance leaderboard. Assuming 85 participating, any Alliance below 6 million points means that they have players not even trying the 5,000 point task. I believe you. There are Alliances out there that are completely not trying, and that's fine. Hey, whatever. If that's your choice, cool. Okay, that's your choice. But what I have seen here is less penalty on going with the 5,000 and 10,000 point legacy tasks. I've seen more flexibility and separation with the new pay tasks as compared to the old legacy tasks. Listen, if you want to go in and do the 5,000 and 10,000 point tasks, you can totally do that. And they are separated out of the bucket from the new spend tasks. And even then, about half of the new spend tasks are actually free to play. Free to play possible, let me say. Free to play possible. Now, MJ says not the norm. Wolfwood says we're having exact opposite experiences. I mean, me? Putz did better than me. Putz is doing better than me. Okay. Now I have been traveling for 2 days of this Alliance tournament. All right. I am personally, I've only got 95,000 points. And look here. I've only done 7 of 9 tasks. 7 of 9. By the way, awesome. 7 of 9. And I got 95,000 points. Okay. I didn't even fully play and fully engage because I was traveling with the kids and all this other stuff. And I still got 95,000 points. Mimi says, yeah, but you're a filthy casual, DJs. My point is exactly that. I played this super casually. And I still scored 95,000 points. I didn't spend a dime. I did not spend a dime. Now, a lot of people were very frustrated, I think, Tarpy, with not knowing where the task came from, which is why Tarpy made this amazing video. If this video doesn't have 10,000 views on it before the next Alliance tournaments, you guys are missing out. You guys are missing out because Jules tells you 100% what tasks to look for, how to do them, what bucket they show up in. I mean, he literally laid out the free-to-play roadmap to the new Alliance tournaments. Completely free to play. And by the way, Master Viper, I only did 1 or 2 of those tasks with the duo waves. Okay? But by the way, it doesn't even matter. Don't talk about the duo waves thing. You don't need an Athena to do the 15,000 point duo waves task. Okay? You just got to go in there. You just got to go in there and try it. Just got to go in there and work it. Okay?
So this was what I had said to DJs, and we just got to our hotel for the night, so I might bounce for a little bit. But what I had said to DJs when he kind of asked me what was going on the first day, he was on vacation and trying to like catch up. I was like, I think people are so used to every change being negative because that's what we've had, that it's really, really hard to think that an Alliance tournament change could be neutral, where, you know, we're getting potentially less of the old loot, but we are getting more of the legendary loot, more of the new stuff than we did last time. And I think that's a good thing. So we're just so used to change being negative that a lot of people didn't give it a chance to be neutral, much less potentially a good thing.
Couple of notes that I will point out. There are a couple of issues. Clark, I hear you, I see you, and I sent your exact experience over. We have been able to confirm that you were targeted incorrectly. Clark has an Ops 57 account. He was getting tasked for G6 solo armadas. So we, by the way, we found this. All right. And I say we, I escalated your stuff, and literally today they found the targeting issue that resulted in you seeing that task. They explained it, like how it worked. And again, that doesn't make sense to me. Jules got to read it too. All right. Super stuff, weird technical, but G5, and obviously it wasn't just Clark, but G5 players, specifically Ops 57, okay, were in fact being targeted with some of the G6 tasks incorrectly. Okay, that's a bug. It was found. It's going to be fixed for the next one. Hopefully, it's going to be fixed for the next one. But they acknowledged that today. Sin says same thing with me and low G5. Well, all of G5 was the same. So yeah, you were probably low G5 and you were getting hit with G6 tasks. Okay. Are they going to bring back Epic Borg and Dom tasks to G6 Plus? No, that was not the design. It's going to be G4 and G5. That's what it was supposed to be. But targeting ended up being a little bit of an issue. And Alicia says it happened same down in G4. Well, now they're aware of a targeting issue. So they hopefully will fix that generational targeting stuff. All right. Vic says, I didn't see him in G5. That means they don't exist. Well, again, there could have been a targeting issue, but with the Dom and Borg ones, there could have been a targeting issue, but they do know that there was a targeting issue, at least with some of the G6 stuff. So I would imagine all that stuff is going to get ironed out, I would hope. But targeting, what the intent of the targeting was, is going to continue. So Dom and Borg are going to be G4 and G5. All right. But Cruzito says they really got to get all levels of folks testing these out. Yeah, shout out iPack. Where you at, Putz? Where you at, Putz? You and your iPack. All right.
iPack.
But so again, I can't super tell you, about what, but I know that they identified a targeting issue. Here's another one. And by the way, I think this one was probably more pressing for a lot of people. And Guffa, I'm looking at you on this one. See, nobody can say that I don't take your feedback seriously or send it on. I might not answer it all because there's just so much sometimes. But Guffa, I see you. Guffa sent me a screenshot where he had 5 identical tasks. 5! And I know a lot of you guys talked about this. It would get re-rolled and you would end up with multiple of the exact same task. This was... You
can get with this or you can get with that.
Yeah. I know a lot of you guys saw that. Here, Annalisa says, dang, Guffa, max I got was 4. Well, here's the deal. Technically, I think it was 4 because he couldn't have more than 4 of the same ones in the same bucket. But he was just so lucky that he got 4 of the identical tasks and then got the next generation, next grade up in the next premium bucket. But it was the exact same task. Let me go back. Not the exact same, but it was the same currency. So it probably was 2 different task IDs. But yeah, here it is. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, no, it was only 4. You made a liar out of me. He had all 4 sphere parts. 2 15,000s and 2 20,000 Borg sphere parts. So obviously different tasks, but all the same thing. What are you supposed to do with that, right? He had 4 options for Borg sphere parts. All right, so that was raised, and they talked to us a little bit about that and how that happened and why that happened. And I know that Jules and I are working on a potential proposal for solving that problem. All right. Again, I'm going to circle back to a little bit of culture, and they're actually talking to us about this stuff, which is good. As a matter of fact, Jules and the rest of the creation team, including Quasel, Lightbull, Pseudo, and all the rest of the tech guys, great job, you guys. Chronox, great job, you guys. There were 43 total tasks that were escalated for a second look, whether it was targeting, a duplicate task ID, value too high, targeting generational off. 43 that are already being reviewed for the next run of Alliance games. All right. This is the kind of super real-time feedback that is happening, and I think that in and of itself is a little bit of evidence that at least they're trying something new. Okay? Are they members of IPAC? No. Are they members of PEG? Yes. All right. The new council, PEG. All right. Vic says make the 15,000 bucket 4 slots. Vic, that was also a piece of feedback. I wanted group 3 to go up to 4. And actually, I like Jules's idea. Jules says, listen, we're used to a 20 form UI. Even if we go to 4 for group 3, that would only be 16. So he wants to increase groups 1 and 2, each also by 2, so that we can get back to a 20 task UI where there's 6 group 1 tasks, 6 group 2 tasks, 4 group 3 tasks, and 4 group 4 tasks. That was, I think, in short, that was Jules's proposition for a 20 task UI, because we know that we can do that. So again, after all conversations that before this one has even ended. So yeah, that was Vic. That's right. 6644. That was, I think, Jules's proposition. All right. So, but yeah. Anyway, there you go with Alliance tournaments. And I am curious how people are going to feel about this currency. Cruzito says, so I actually think this run was a net gain. But they did also have them for 2 months of rework, so kind of tough to be lenient. Well, yeah, I think I can agree with that. Divine says, why not 5, 5, 5, and 5? You know what, Divine? Here's what I'll tell you. Because the Group 3 and Group 4 are not as free to play. They're not as free to play. And honestly, I'm looking at that. One of the biggest things that I have seen, even from the people who have been blindly mad about it, even from the people who have been blindly angry about it, their comment are there's too many pay tasks, which I think is a knee-jerk reaction. Take a shot. Because almost 50% of them are free to play. Okay, almost 50% of them, according to Jules, have a free-to-play path. It's not easily free-to-play, but preparation and hoarding and game preparing and, you know, looking at this and looking at that and using your redeems and working the clock and yada, yada, yada. Okay?
I'll go back to the number that there are 97 tasks that are free to play a bull and 91 that require pay or spend.
So roughly free to play.
There.
Yeah. And Vic says hoard everything. Well,
roughly half.
That's always been the model.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask this question. 2-for-1 Revenge says this version is worse than the last for me. He said most of us, but I don't think that I genuinely don't think that that's accurate. But it could be for you. So speak for you, 2-for-1. Why was it worse for you? And by the way, I'm going to, while I'm waiting on your response, I'm going to say that I told the exact same thing to Putz. Putz said the exact same thing. This is terrible. I don't like it. It's not good. It's worse. I don't like the gameplay. I'm getting paid less. Yada, yada, yada. All those things. Okay, we had this big debate 2 days ago. And even Friday on the beach stream, Griffin, I was talking about, listen, I think, yes, I think people are going to earn less legacy loot. I think they are going to earn less legacy loot. And if that is your sole judgment, then I can understand and validate your feelings and understand your position that this is less valuable to you. Because I do think people are going to get less.
At the end of the day, that's a fair point.
It is. It is. And that's what I'm saying. If that is how you judge this event, is purely on payout, then I accept. Because I think that most players will probably get a little bit less legacy loot. However, there were a couple of
silver lining.
There is a silver lining here, which is the amount of legacy loot has been amplified dramatically. And you look at Putz, for
Legendary?
example. What did I say?
Legacy.
Sorry.
Legacy.
The amount of legendary currency has been amplified dramatically. Some people are going to say that the store items don't matter as much, and I'm going to say I agree with you. Okay? I'm not super motivated by the store. There's a couple of cool things in it. Okay? But they are...
Can we talk about how they can't be bothered to put how much of that currency you have in the upper right corner of the UI? What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't like that. Fix that. Fix that.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah, we need to see that. I agree.
I
believe that
I still think
Go ahead.
For this, they should take the caps off of the primes. They should take the caps off of the ship skins. They should take the cap. They can leave the caps on the officers. They can leave the caps on some of the other things. But for a lot of us, the ship skin for the Vengeance, for example, I will probably have my Vengeance maxed or very close to maxed by the time I get that skin. And so I will have spent 6 months working towards that skin if they offer Alliance tournaments once a month to then not need the skin. And if I could save the currency to buy an entire prime or the entire ship skin or half of something in 1 month at a time or something like that, that would let me choose and not have the FOMO or the worry of spending 6-8 months worth of effort on some of these primes to then have them be useless by the time I get there.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree with that. But I think I would, me personally, that's why I'm not going for the Vengeance skin, right? Because of that exact same thing.
And most of the things in the store besides that, for a lot of the primes, especially for considering a lot of those were super useful for spenders who bought them at the time, a lot of those primes are gonna be not so useful by the time that I get them in 6 months. And once you start buying those shards, because there's nowhere else to source them, you kind of are stuck with some spent on it. And do you keep getting it, or do you start on something else and take longer to get that?
Yeah.
And then chance having that be useless by the time you get there.
Yeah, no, I don't.
The
I don't necessarily disagree with that. Like I said, I that's probably one of the reasons why I'm not super motivated by the legendary store. However,
which takes away a lot of the draw of doing a lot of the tasks, doesn't it? Because if they've devalued the original currency and then there's nothing a heck of a lot of value in the news store for you.
I don't think you can say they devalued the original currency. It's still there. I mean, you can still.
Why
they're taking away how much?
Why are you not excited about the legendary store?
Well, hang on. So no, they're not taking away how much you can get. You just have to choose what's going to be more important. Putz chose to focus on legendary loot, and he did, and only ended up being down about 7,700 legacy loot. I focused on 100% legendary loot. Definitely took less in legacy, but if you chose 5 and 10,000 point tasks, the legacy task, you would actually end up with more. And I'll tell you why. And by the way, this is a structural win for me, and I'm a little disappointed that it wasn't more widely acknowledged, because this is something I fought for forever, which was to get every task. Everything pays credits. Like, do you guys remember us complaining about how many of the old tasks, like if you chose, like for example, I saw this in chat, I kind of didn't like the fact that you chose a better scoring for your alliance, but then you got less credits. Well, that problem was solved this time. That problem was solved this time because every single task had credits. And that I thought was a big win. That's right, Divine. 5,000 tasks paid nothing before. They did pay this time. So
and there's nothing below 5,000. So
correct.
You don't have to feel like doing a 750 point task means basically nothing.
Exactly. Okay. So I feel like now retrieving, obviously, if you did all 5,000 point tasks as compared to all 10,000 point tasks, but still doing all 10,000 point tasks is possible with this new model. It is. Okay. But for people who didn't do the 10,000 point tasks perfectly, then they actually got more because they were doing 7,500 point tasks or 5,000 point tasks or 2,000 point tasks that had no credits in it whatsoever. All right. So I think that there's give and take right there. Well, and again, you can talk about the rerolls retrieving, but yeah, they even caved a little bit on that, which I was surprised at. I didn't expect that, but they did actually offer a few more rerolls this time. What was it? The new seasonal 15,000 point? No, the seasonal 10,000 point task offered a reroll. The seasonal 15,000 point task offered 2 rerolls, and then the heroic 20,000 point task offered 3 rerolls, which is an increase in rerolls. I was surprised to see that, to be honest with you. But again, I remind you, rerolls are the reason the original Alliance tournaments aged out so badly. So that's right. Retrieving says Tarpy's 22-hour cooldown. That was a real-time improvement. A real-time improvement. A 22-hour cooldown as compared to the 24 on the reroll token bundle claim. These are the little things. Just little things. So anyway, that's where kind of where I'm at on that. And like Lost In says, I think that this is going to be good for a lot of players as they age out of the original task. If you're still chasing legacy loot, then I can see why it's going to be a little bit more retrieving's right. And like I said at the very beginning, you're going to earn less. You're going to earn less.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it specifically at legacy loot. But I don't know if that, I don't know, and this is your opinion to make, I don't know if that's super fair. All right. Oh, Pentox, shush. I literally just said you're getting less, all right? I'm not spinning anything. But I do wonder.
And that's only if you were cranking out 10,000 point tasks before. I mean, there's a lot of people who got absolutely no loot from any of the tasks that they do, and now they are.
Yeah, a little bit.
A lot of people.
But I'm also, this is
a little, but
this is the one thing that I want to point is this would be like looking at steel without considering ore, right? We're talking about legacy loot, but we're not looking at the second generation of rewards that come with the legendary loot. And Griffin tells me I'm crazy for not appreciating the legendary store. Tell me what you find valuable in the legendary store.
What are you talking about?
You just said I don't know what you don't like about the legendary store. Tell me what I should be interested in with the legendary store.
The new stuff on the bottom, that legendary store?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we can finally max out WOK Carol. I'm doing that. I'm definitely going after the shackle and upgrading my shackle. That's huge.
That's nice.
Oh, well, there is Carol.
Yeah.
Okay.
The helmet or whatever it is at the end.
That's a lot of currency, man. She's really expensive, man.
Oh, whoa. Well, if you do all your tasks over the whole 5 days, I mean, you can get 40 of her shards. Great. And the shackle, I mean, if you're in G7, you want ship efficiency.
You're not getting 40 of those shards, my friend.
I certainly have the opportunity to. Why would you not?
You'd show me how much legendary currency do you have?
A lot. Well, I spent it all, but a lot.
Okay, well, I definitely don't have 35,000. I'm probably going to finish this tournament. I probably am going to finish this tournament with 17 to 20,000, though, to be honest with you. All right, and
I maxed out my shackle pulls. There was that,
Jesus
and then
God,
I got
dude. Holy shit!
Yeah,
you did a lot then. My God. All right. I mean,
well, you just got to know which tasks to pick.
Now, Andalicia's saying 4,400 at 15 tasks equals end loot. Yet that is on legacy loot. I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think legendary loot was paying 4,400, was it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, for those big tasks.
It was also paying 4,400 legendary loot. Oh well, that's how you did it then.
Yes.
Okay. Now
That's how I did it then.
I'm not going to get nearly that much. Let me look. Will Spock's Club show how much I've got? Next on Spock's Club.
Why would
legendary? What's it called? Legendary inventory.
Someone in chat tell us where to find it in our inventory in game, because I can't find it.
I don't know. Where.
It is officially called Legendary Alliance Tournament Credits.
I have
legendary.
Yeah, there we go. A Legendary Alliance Tournament Credits. I am currently holding 4,000, but I'm probably going to get roughly 11 or 12,000 from the Alliance Tournament standing.
30,000 for me.
You have 30 grand?
I have not spent a cent.
Well,
I have not spent a cent this month.
Perfect. Now, this is this point that I'm trying to make. Look, Spock's got 38,000. Okay, this is right here. This is the point. Pentox, you say I'm shilling, but right here's the math. Okay, you can focus on the legacy loot for sure. All right, or you can start to phase into the next phase. Right, start going into phase 2 of the store, which is the legendary currency. And some people, as you can see, they did that. All right, now I didn't as much. Okay, I got 4,000. I'm going to end this arc. I'm going to end this games with about 15 or 16,000 after my alliance reward. Okay, Voltron has 10,000.
I have 40,000 right now.
You got 40,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the legendary loot that literally 2 months ago, guys, we were complaining that nobody was going to get. Right? We were talking about it taking years to unlock stuff, and now we're talking 40,000 loot or 30,000 loot. And again, this, yeah.
Content still has caps.
With the ship cost efficiency
lot
of
of the
that shackle in G7, I mean, you got to chase it if you're in G7. This is you having a choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm maxing out my pulls on that, and I'm nowhere close to building a G7 ship. I want that.
Like that's
I want that high by the time I build a G7 ship.
and
That's
this
right.
is why I'm like, I would love to go after some of the things. Like I have loved that engine skin since it came out, but I feel bad spending currency on it because I'm not going to need it by the time I get a G7 ship. At the same time away.
Yeah. Couple of questions or a couple of comments out of chat, and we'll get ready to wrap this up. Yeah, see, Guffa says, this is what I'm saying. People are not looking at necessarily the full picture. And I know, listen, this does me no favors. Okay, this does me no favors. Like this is where players, I can see it over in YouTube chat. This is where the simp and the shield comments all come, and it is what it is. Again, you can't hurt me, but we're going to pull the curtain back. We're going to pull the curtain back because mathematically, this is what Lost In was saying on day one. This is why the people who are saying I'm not going to play, it just blows my mind. I mean, obviously that's your choice, all right, but that seems silly to me. Why not do what you can, take what you can get, and it's going to be more than not doing anything. And you can see here, and that's why I say this video that Tarpy and Jules made should have 10,000 views on it before the next Alliance Games, because they literally told you how to do it. A, B, C, steps 1, 2, 3, exactly how to do it. And that's where you watch it now. Prepare. Know what's going to happen again, because the next Alliance Games is not 30 days away. Leaks. Okay. Jules says, last tournament, I only got the Alliance reward, roughly 9,000. This month, I'm going to get approximately 40,000.
Can we just talk about how amazing that proto matter task is if you have any trial bells at all? I've done it 5 times.
Did you really?
And
Jeez. Putz told me he did that one a bunch. Putz did several of those too.
I parked a ship since all of my ships are.
Sorry, chat says I got to mute Discord. Shut up, shush, shush, shut up, shut up, shut up, shush. All right, so there you go.
I know. No,
Wow,
they did that
very
on purpose,
overwhelming.
guys. They did that on purpose. That was actually in their notes. This task was planned like so.
Oh, good. There you go.
But
yeah.
This one was planned like that.
It is a lot of trial bells.
I'm
not going to be able to do it. I've only got like 400 trial bells, so I can't do it.
Well, I just need to point out that me being lazy and never doing Q's trials for the last 6 months has
finally
paid off.
Finally paid off for you guys. Here you go. I'm going to pin this in chat. Thank you very much as the first-time chatter. We just saw Mangelo come in. Says, anyone get a link to that vid? I'll be happy to throw it up. Right there it is. And I will pip in chat. It is also available on our YouTube channel. Oops, I just pinned the wrong one. Sorry. How do I unpin that now? Crap.
Oops, I pinned the wrong one. Is this the new Britney Spears song?
Hold on. Oops, I pinned the wrong message. Manually unpin. Oh, there he goes. Unpin. Unpin.
Flip that.
And by the way, okay, there we go. Pin. Got it? Got that one. There we go. Whew, it's there. Now, thank you. You're welcome, Angela. I will also address the one comment here just a second ago that said, DJs, if you only got 4,000 loot, did you struggle because of rerolls? No. Here's the thing. Honestly, now this is where you guys make fun of me a little bit, all right? But it just is what it is. This is where I was, quote, a dirty casual, okay? Because I have 5,800 reroll tokens, all right? I was a dirty casual. I just didn't play. And then I also gambled. Mangelo, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that over on YouTube. I also gambled. I gambled on my Athena parts task. I lost. All right. I gambled and I lost because I needed 200 Athena parts. I pulled the 3 bundle and I got 35, 35, 35. So there's a task I'm not going to get. Kaviji says, you got given a pile with that many? No. You want to know where they came from? I got none. You want to know where they came from? And I still haven't spent them all. All right. I still have not spent them all. This is from my conversion. Here you go. Yeah. I had gazillions. Look, I still have 750,000 of the old ones. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I have not been given any. This is 100% just from conversions. And I'm also working the cooldown. I didn't redeem all of these. Because I wanted to continue earning my 800 per tournament. All right. But in all seriousness, joking aside, I was a quote unquote dirty casual this run because I was on vacation. I was with my family. So I played some. I did play on Friday. But then I also gambled. All right. I also gambled on a couple of tasks and lost. As you can see, if you look at my score here, where's my score? Here you go. You can see I'm at 7 of 9. I have actually failed on 2 tasks because I gambled and lost. Wow. I gambled and lost.
Well,
so, but
that's
you know what?
That
was a risk I took.
Number 68 content creator right here.
That was a risk I took. I knew it. I knew it when I took it. All right. Pentalk says 4K legendary is nothing. You've been inactive. That's why you have too many rerolls. I literally just said that I played pretty casually. But again, I also want to point out, if I'm gonna play tit for tat with you, Pentox, you say 4K legendary is nothing, which means that you earn more, and we're not happy with that. You know what I'm saying? See, that's kind of the point. If we're earning this much legendary currency, the new currency, then how can we justifiably say that it's worse or not worth it, or that we're going to boycott it, or that we're not going to play it? It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if you're choosing the legendary currency side, yes, you're going to get less legacy, but isn't that what you want? You know? So, I don't know.
Dude, some people watch their team win the World Cup and then they go and burn their city down.
True that.
A lot of things around here don't make sense.
Divide says,
the other kind of football?
Divide says, DJ, you should have watched
win a football thing.
Tarpy and should have watched Tarpy and Jules's video. I should have. All right. Scalyback says, who is this royal we you speak of? I watched both videos and I got Jack. How did you get Jack? And where was Jill while this was happening? All right. I'm just curious.
Up the hill. Fetching a pail of water.
All right. There we go. So are we actually getting less currency? Well, I guess that depends on who you ask and what currency you are going for. And you know, there you go.
And how
there you go. I can't talk.
And how grumpy you want to be. That's all it boils down to. I mean, this is a delightful conversation. I've completely shift focused myself. Yesterday or the day before, I'm going to make you throw up in your mouth. I grounded 1 trillion rep in a day. 1 trillion rep.
You know, great news on that. Great news on that. Let me give the last leak of the day. I'm going to give you the last leak of the day, everybody, on what we're looking forward to, because you guys said you wanted ARC preview. So here you go. I got one more leak that I'm going to give you regarding the Galactic Anomalies. Okay. I'll make sure my screen is not on. Okay, good. Just making sure, because you know, stranger things have happened. Here we go. There have been questions regarding the little bit of a preview I gave on Galactic Anomalies on Saturday. And I want to clarify a couple of questions. Coach says, what's a galactic animal? So a galactic animal is essentially these new hazards 2.0. These are this new buff debuff system that is going to be rotating and existing across the galaxy, kind of like in a weather pattern kind of thing. And some people were saying that some of these buffs that I talked about the other day were either not exciting or too much buff. I think Mimi described it as bone-crushing debuff with no gain. And so I wanted to make sure that I was super clear about how these things were going to be paired up. And we are going to release more of that later on with the Arcfall content. But we're talking tiers, okay? So, for example, I'm going to give you the name of one Galactic Anomaly. This is called, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I'm just going to do it. This is called Adaptive Hull. All right? This is, for example, the name of one. Hypothetically speaking. All right? Adaptive Hull is going to, the debuff associated with this is damage from hostiles is increased towards you. Okay? But the buff is going to be that you have increase in FKR reputation. Positive.
Oh, please
FKR
sign me up.
Gain. Okay.
Sign me up.
Now, I know that.
Oh, positive. So it's affected by the exocoms. That kind of positive?
That kind of positive.
That kind of positive. Now, Griffin, what if I told you that at some point throughout this month, some point, that there was going to be a tier 4 version of adaptive hulls that was going to increase the armada or the hostiles damage towards you by 600%. Oof.
Oh no.
Oh no. But in exchange, if you defeat this hostile, it's going to pay you 5,000% positive FKR reputation gain.
5,000% positive FKR rep gain pre-exocomp.
Heck yes.
Well, I don't know what system you think your station is. When that pops up, I'm absolutely blowing up your station, and I'm taking that spot, and I'm going to live in there forever. That's what's going to happen. Because I got 49 trillion to go to build my stupid Stargazer, and I need it now and immediately.
Now, where it will be, nobody knows. When it shows up, Griffin, it could be gone in an hour.
What? An hour?
Gone in 60 seconds? Isn't that a movie?
It is a movie. Great movie.
It is Nicolas Cage, but I only get that crap for an hour. Can you imagine if I do the other exocomp at the same time and the one in the refinery?
Well, let me rephrase. Maybe it shows up for an hour, Griffin, but then just like a thunderstorm, it's just going to crawl its way across the galaxy, and you're going to be able to go to another system and be able to be able to.
Oh, and I can follow it. I can like a weather pattern.
You could be a storm chaser.
Oh my god!
I can chase that tornado all the way to my level 4. Okay,
it can happen. And what if I told you? What if I told you that this was going to happen specifically on August the 12th?
Well, I would set my alarm right now.
Shelby says August 16th. Maybe not.
This isn't a negotiation, Shelby.
No, it's not a negotiation, Shelby. All right, but by the way, I'm also, Shelby says, I'm grinding the 12th through the 16th. You could take the 14th and 15th off, but then you want to come back to the 17th and 18th.
Set an alarm for August 12th through 13th and the 17th and the 18th called Rep Grind.
Retrieving says, DJ's 5,000% increase on 0 is still 0. Are you telling me that I'm going to have to actually hit hostiles that day? Come on, bro.
Yes.
Well, you need to do dailies, dude.
All right. Yeah. Shelby says 22 trillion to go. I'm going to beat you to 100 trillion, Griffin says Shelby. Interesting.
We'll see about that, Shelby. We'll see about that, Mr. Shelby. We will indeed.
All right.
Although my efforts are temporarily delayed, I need the floor for 20 seconds.
Please.
Last time on Talking Trek, I started a global war with another alliance on my server.
You did.
Because I accidentally left an amalgam cloaked in their territory capture system. That's just a terrible, mean, rude, and horrible thing for me to have done. So I would like to apologize to Salty with Attitude, SWAT, and specifically their admiral, Speaker for the Dead, for encroaching upon your territory and then setting little fart emojis amongst all your bases before leaving. I'm sorry.
I feel like that's not gonna.
They KOS'd you. You farted on them?
I feel like this isn't gonna move the needle. I feel like.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I
just apologized to Salty with Attitude for going into their territory and farting on their bases with my little emojis.
Why would you fart on their base?
I didn't mean to. The button slipped. I pushed the button and it slipped. I thought you encouraged me to do it. It was your idea. I just did it because you said to.
DJs.
Okay.
But you farted on them?
Well,
why would you defenseless people.
Well, I mean, it's not in real life, Tarpy. They're not here for me to actually fart on them. I just went over to their base and I might have hit the, the live long and prosper button.
I agree,
so sorry.
Jose. This is bad news here. Okay, I feel like this war's not going to end. We were actually hoping to diplomatically work out so that we could do some testing in science tomorrow. And I feel like he just made it worse. You just made it worse.
Oh, that's not with Salty with Attitude. That's with Unknown. Those guys are a little bit more chill with me. It's Salty with Attitude. They're very salty and they have an attitude about it. So I thought I would come onto the stream and I would apologize for my transgression. Though in the history of Server 41 in 7 years, that was never a problem to be in other people's territory capture. It's definitely a merged server. Have you been in a merged server and they bring all this horrible shit along with them? Server 54,
yes.
Like, all of a sudden we can't go in other people's TC anymore. Like, not even to say hi.
It's
like it's a capital crime.
Rules are rules.
It's a crime to fly an amalgam into another TC. I didn't even know. I plausible deniability. I didn't even know that was an issue.
Deniability.
I'm 41, never an issue. 54, big issue.
Fart in your general
but now
direction,
I know,
sir. All right.
Now I know, and I will definitely not go into Salty with Attitude's territory capture system in the future, and then throw a very friendly what's it called?
No, there you go. All right, Sam agrees.
Sorry.
War is war.
Yeah,
if you fly into someone else's TC, that would be an act of war. There you go. Okay, you never know. Muwok says, "What is this world coming to when you can't even fart in someone's general direction?" Jiminy Christmas.
Exactly what I said, but I was asked to apologize. So here I am. Here's me. I'm apologizing. And this is not a live stream of Salty with Attitude's territory capture space behind me. Has nothing to do with what's going on there.
Gotcha.
Because I'm not in it. I'm not. Why would I be in their TC? I'm not in their TC.
Oh boy. Anyway,
Griffin.
Listen, couple of points that I'm going to do because we got to get ready to wrap up. We've been on too long. A couple of points that I'm going to come back to with regards to the Galactic Anomalies. Retrieving, I hear you, I acknowledge, but I've also said like 3 different times this month, the current Galactic Anomalies that are showing up in territory capture are essentially, I think they were pretty much test runs. I don't know what their plans are for those long term. They were going to stay static for the end of this arc. I told them they should just gank them down. But Retrieving points out they screwed up. Hang on. He says the quantum hostiles are not granting FKR reps, so it's a 5,000% increase of 0. Yeah, because this was merely the training ground for them. The Galactic Anomalies are going to appear in G6 plus FKR space, and they're going to rotate. And by the way, you're going to see Galactic Anomalies in as many as 20 systems at once. Okay, so
wow.
Now, Polar Bear says they should make it 1 per day, in my opinion, not per hour. Well, here's the deal. And this is, Tarpy, this right here exactly is probably where I want to clarify, because some people had asked about this. So here's the position on that, okay, is that it is going to be 1 Galactic Anomaly on that day. Okay, on that day. Yes. So there's only going to be 1 debuff and 1 buff that is present in the entire galaxy that day. But it is going to appear in up to 20 systems, and those systems will rotate on an hourly basis. Okay? So, for example,
This is
Let the
excluding
games
the ones
begin.
that are already in territory.
yeah, the ones in territory,
Those
I don't
are
know.
separate.
I don't know what they're planning on doing with those. I think those probably just need to come out. I think they were a test. I don't know if they're going to stick around. I have no idea what they're going to do that. But yeah, the Galactic Anomalies, the big ones, they're going to be all over the place. Now, for example, I did mention that if Griffin wanted to get 5,000% FKR reputation gain, then he was going to have to take 600% damage gain from the hostile towards him. Is this going to change the way we crew? Possibly. Okay.
Mhm.
But let me, I didn't even give you the best one, Griffin.
What?
I didn't even give you the best one. What if?
What could be better than 5,000%?
What about 10,000%?
Good name. What?
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 10,000%?
You're just throwing out numbers now, aren't you?
I am not.
You're just like, here's
I
a
am
number.
not. I am not. Okay.
Enjoy this number.
For
It is
example,
large.
here is a Galactic Anomaly that can issue up to 10,000% positive FKR reputation gain, but in exchange matters. That hostile will have a 35% chance to bypass your shields for the duration of combat. Whoa!
You don't need shields.
Whoa! Is this going
Oh.
to change the way we crew? Now, let me come back and say this has Cameron Stewart's fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
Griffin, what was it? What was it that he said to us in our very first meeting? And I even already said it once tonight. What did he say in our very first meeting about what he wants the game to be? What is it?
Replayable.
Successful.
I don't know.
More fun for matters.
Coated in
I love
sparkly
puzzles.
unicorn farts and rainbows.
Puzzles.
Yes, he said puzzles.
Thank
That's
you,
right.
retrieving
I got that wrong.
experiences. Puzzles. There you go. Okay. Puzzles. You now, by the way,
Unicorn
it's not a guarantee. It's a 35% chance to bypass your shields for the duration of combat. Okay. But
Well, then I need a lot of hull, or I need to stop their shots before and kill them and one shot them. Mm-hmm.
okay, there you go. Let's talk about that. Matters, you and I talked about this on Saturday. This is going to change the way we crew. Okay? This is going to, for example, let me ask, just, okay? If you're going to send out to rep grind, Griffin, you got 10,000% FKR rep gain. Are you going to send out that Borg pack lead that does reputation? Are you going to send out Harry Kim on the bridge?
No, because that's only 50%, and I've already got 10,000%.
Exactly. We are now going to change our perspective on how buffs work in this game. We're going to say, hey, listen, 50% in the grand scheme of things is a drop in the bucket compared to the 10,000%. I'm basically getting a 10,000% boost. So now the 50% or the 100% FKR rep that I'm getting from Harry Kim, I'm going to use an officer's crew set that is going to be more effective, that might kill it faster, or that might give me some more apex barrier, right? Or some extra mitigation or whatever it's going to be that is going to minimize the amount of damage I take to my hull just in case that 35% procs.
Yeah, I need shot block and I need barrier. Boom. I need to one-shot him.
Interesting. A puzzle. Omicron says, Chang. Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Retrieving says, this is the kind of RNG I can get behind. Not economy RNG, but puzzles and gameplay RNG. This has Cameron Stewart written all over it. This is the experience that he wants to come back to. Matters. This to me sounds like your heavenly dream. You love crewing.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
These
that's gonna
weather
be fun.
patterns. Every day, by the way, every day, there will be some form of galactic anomaly. For example, And this one's probably not as great, but
Do it anyway. I want to hear it. Give me more examples.
here's another example.
Can you do the
You
one
think
with
it's
the
bad, but it's
vertical
probably
line?
good. Read it.
Okay. I don't fully understand this one, so I'm just going to read the whole thing, and I'm sorry, I'm hyping content that may not be hypeable. This anomaly can occur in a simulated space. The Borg have improved their technology, enhancing their damage by up to 40% increase in hostile damage, but you get up to 250% hostile apex shred. They also will...
Well, that should allow you to punch up quite a bit.
Okay. Maybe so.
Yeah.
See, I don't understand as much about that one, but that's also in a simulated space.
Isn't that where the Borg Sphere?
I think that's where the Borg Sphere grind is,
Those
right?
are
Yes.
simulated.
That's a fair thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's a sphere thing right there. So,
Yeah. So
There you
this
go.
is
So
a
they're
punch up mechanic that they've built in
okay.
to
Kinda
help
cool.
with our weekly tasks.
Interesting. All right. So, by the way, and there's more. And there's a schedule. You're going to know.
That would be nice
schedule?
this
A
week.
schedule. You're going to know. You're going to know every single day what the buff and the debuff is. And all you have to do is just look on the map where it is. If you want to participate with it, go. If you don't, avoid the little glowy thingy.
Wow. So just in time for me to not want to jump off a cliff before I get to Prestige 4, here comes Gandalf over the ridge at dawn with a burst of light behind him saying, I will take you to Prestige 4. You just need to log in and you don't need to know when to aim and where to shoot. I
Now,
can't wait.
Here's the thing. Candid Onion says, no, Cruzito. Hang on a second. Let me read yours. Let me read Candid Onion's first. It holds 300 people? No. I mean, maybe. I don't know. What's the system hold? However,
Does everybody play at the same time?
exactly. This
Like,
is. I don't think that. I personally don't think that you're going to see everybody on at the exact same time in the exact same grinding system. They're going to vary depending on
after
level.
the first week.
Maybe, yeah, after the first week.
After the first.
Anyway, listen,
And there's 20 of them.
No, retrieving the anomaly is not just in one system. It can be in up to 20 systems at once. All right. It can be in up to 20 systems. So, yeah. Now, it could be, by the way, depending on the day and depending on the where is this one? I don't remember where this one is. There's one that will appear in only one system and rotate every 5 minutes. There is one.
Ooh. 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, and
It's a doozy.
it is a doozy. And am I reading this right? Is there not a debuff on this one?
Isn't it just the whether or not you can find it?
Maybe. Listen, we'll have more information. We're gonna have more information on this a little bit later. But I'm already sharing too much, but we'll get you some more information. But yeah, there's stuff. And by the way, Cruzito, to your point, no, they're not giving you a cheat sheet to the puzzle. There is a schedule of what the Galactic Anomaly is for that day, but you're still gonna have to go find it. And if you want to have a little extra fun, you can track it. And if you want to have a little more extra fun, you can predict the weather pattern. Okay?
I love that.
Are we going to become STFC meteorologists?
You could.
I think so.
Or you could just look at the galaxy map and look at whatever is glowing.
It's going to look like cotton candy, and that was I love it.
Okay?
We all get extra sugar.
So, and by the way, this month, and I'm going to end with this because we're over our time. Griffin, this is the quote unquote pause month. This is Anthology, M93.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay? A lot of our events are going to be calling back on classics. The only new content this month is this Galactic Anomaly and one other little thingy that we'll talk a little bit about later.
Little thingy. Small thingy.
Small thingy. Teensy tiny. Little small thingy.
That's what she said.
That in no way, shape, or form will
Details.
cause major havoc along the server. No way.
Griffin is going to have a lot of farts next month.
I mean, whatever.
Remember, I
don't like it.
apologized for that. I said I was very sorry, and I am very sorry.
All right. So
5 or 7.
So that is the majority of your ARC preview. All right. MJ says,
Yeah, sure. Because there's nothing else to talk about.
Me personally, I think there's nothing to talk about with the other small thingy.
Not at all.
I don't think there's anything worth talking about with the small thingy. I don't like it.
Well,
I don't think.
I hope you remember how to shield your base.
That means I will.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
I'm just saying, by the way, I hope your base is shielded. It's the end of the stream.
What the hell, dude?
Why did you just leak the fact that your server and DJ's server are merging? Why?
Good diversion, Tarpy. Good diversion. Okay.
Push the button. Push the button. Quick.
Push the button. We gotta get the hell out of here. We're out of here, everybody. Oh man, it's time to go, ladies and gents. You know what? Honestly, if we haven't been canceled yet, what are we gonna have to do? That's probably perfectly fine.
I don't know.
If we haven't gotten canceled yet, we're not going to get canceled.
I already told Beck I would tie you to the Airbnb. And she's bringing the extension cord.
MJ, this wasn't even my fault. Don't look at me. I said nothing.
I was simply reminding you to shield your base. What is wrong with you?
Oh, I'm not shielded.
It's probably not even shielded.
Dixie? DJ, you were never dramatic or overreact. You never overreact.
So I have now shielded my base. I've shielded my base, and everything is great again. All right.
It's going to be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in to this episode of Talking Trek, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. I hope that you have found it informative. I hope you have found it analytical.
It's the last one, so it's fine.
All right. I listen, we are striving to get to the analytics. We're striving to get to the math, and I understand there's all this stuff, but what we want you to be able to count on us for is exactly that: the analytics, the math, the science, the breakdown, the information, the news, the communications, and we're going to keep it on. We're going to keep going. I meet again with Cameron on Thursday in San Diego. All right, I actually canceled my phone meeting on Wednesday because I was just going to have beers with him on Thursday. So we're just going to do that. And
have beers.
Yeah, we're gonna have some beers on Thursday. So that'll be nice, and we'll be able to talk about some more stuff and be able to share more. In the meantime, we'll be back with the engineering team tomorrow, live ops team tomorrow. So there is some cool stuff, and that. Whether you call it shilling, whether you call it simping, whatever you want to call it, that it is what this show is. We're going to be the bridge. We're going to communicate. We're going to represent you, and we're going to give that communication back to you guys, and we're going to be the most reliable conduit for that. And we hope that is appreciated and welcome by our community. So shills don't leak like we do. Thank you, Captain Taylor. I appreciate that affirmation. All right.
Exactly that.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, retrieving. Somebody in the YouTube chat was being mean to me with that word. Guys, thank you. Before the end of July, we can make it happen. 1,000 subs. And we spin that GoWheel, and we get massive, massive entries into the cruise contest. Visit our website at UltimatDJz.com. For all of us here at Talking Trek, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat person, Ultimate DJ, saying meow for now. Love you, minute. Catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody.